So hey anime fans. The series name is What If Naruto Got Stuck in Harem with Femme Akatsuki, so let's start the series. Konan shook her head to push the short flashback to the side so she could focus on what is at hand. As she focused back on the blonde, she noticed him jumping up and down on the bed cheering. After all this time I'm finally a genin. Konan could hear the boy saying. Suddenly he landed flat on the old bed lying face down. Now is my chance, Konan thought as she disappeared and reappeared behind the boy with a ready paper kunai hidden away in her right sleeve. The boy suddenly jumped back to his feet on the small bed and turned around to jump back off of the said bed only to have his lips connect with hers. Konan and the boy are both shocked by the sudden contact. She was about put a kunai to his neck until the look in his eyes told her this is his first kiss with a real woman, even if she is older than him. He is enjoying the contact. The boy could see her amber eyes along with most of her face. This woman is beyond beautiful, he thought as he slightly sucked on her lower lip, enjoying the flavor her mouth and lips gave him. After a couple of seconds of the connection, the boy finally backed away, still standing. Are you Naruto Uzumaki? Konan said, hiding her disappointment because he broke the contact when she was beginning to enjoy the kiss and what he was doing to her lower lip. His lips are so soft, I just wanna. No, I shouldn't think like this, he is only 13. She thought. Try to keep her eyes on the ball. Why yes, that's me. What is yours and what do you need from me? Naruto asked as he quickly licked his lips, enjoying the flavor of her lips that she left on his own. Konan couldn't help but become a little aroused by his small action. From the info I gathered, nearly everyone in the village hates him because of the 9 tails. He also wants nothing more than to be seen by everyone, so he strives to become Hokage. His favorite food is ramen. But the last 2 things I have just learned is he loves a woman's touch and seems to be falling in love with me. If I play my cards right, taking him with me back to Ami will be very easy, she thought to herself. My name is Konan, I am here to capture you, she said, and soon realized what she just finished saying. Shit, I fucked it up, she thought as she noticed Naruto taking a defensive stance. I'm not going to be captured without a fight, Naruto said as he was about to charge at her from his bed. Konan couldn't help but notice his horrible defensive stance. It is beyond obvious that he is self-trained, poor kid, she thought, and decided to use his bad stance to her advantage. Within a flash she pinned him to the bed with her on top of him. What are you doing, Konan-chan? Naruto asked with a blush because of the sudden position, and her face is only an inches away from his own. I'm merely here to ask you to come back to Ami with me. Konan reworded what she first said but with a seductive voice. Konan-chan, I like the way that sounds coming from him, she thought. Naruto felt himself harden with arousal and tried his best to hide his growing erection. Why would I want to go with you? I love it here, everyone is so nice to me too, and I have a lot of friends, he said with sorrow in his eyes, knowing that he was lying. You know damn well that is a lie, Konan said, and Naruto looked away from and facing to his right, to help hide his sadness. Konan grabbed the sides of his head, forcing him to look her in the eyes. But that is why I am here, to save you from this place. In Ami you're going to be seen as hero, not as a demon, she said, giving Naruto the time so he could let her words sink in. Naruto laid there contemplating this offer for a couple of minutes and was pushing more to her side. His eyes slowly reverted to her lips. Konan noticed where his eyes landed. I take it that he enjoys kissing me, she thought with a smile. I'm not any better, she thought, and pressed her lips to his, still holding the sides of his head with her hands. She noticed he made a small moan into the kiss as he slowly closed his eyes. She mentally grinned as she realized he is easy to pleasure. Enjoying the sound of his moans, she decided to step it up a notch and slid her tongue past his lips into his mouth. Naruto's eyes widened only to close again as he couldn't help but enjoy the sensation. Konan soon parted, leaving a strand of saliva that's connected to each other's tongues. Gravity soon took its toll, causing the strand to finally snap and fall into his mouth. Konan used her left hand to close his mouth. He quickly managed to get what she is wanting him to do and swallowed down the saliva. If you come to aim with me and you'll be trained to your heart's content, you'll be able to stand against all the Kages, Konan said, knowing that he wants to become stronger and that absolutely loves training. The Kage are the strongest of all the shinobi. If could actually stand against them, then I mean that I would be really strong, Naruto thought to himself. I'll give you until tomorrow to give me your answer, Konan said, and disappeared in a swirl of papers. Naruto soon fell asleep in deep thought. What should I do? I really want to become stronger, but I don't want to leave the little bit of friends that I have behind, he thought as he fell asleep. The next day, Naruto could be seen tied to a large wooden pole flailing around as he tried to get loose as 3 members of his team began walking away. Hey, guys, don't leave me here. Can you guys untie me? Naruto begged, but the group ignored him and continued to walk away. Sakura-chan, oh Sakura-chan. Can you please untie me, Sakura-chan? Naruto continued until Sakura finally looked away from Sasuke and turned around to face him. Shut it, Baka. Sakura yelled and turned back to Sasuke only to see a small cloud of smoke in his place. Sakura's face turned red with anger and slowly walked towards Naruto. With Konan. Konan is now following one of the bigger chakra sources towards the outskirts of the village. She soon reached a training field and quickly hid inside of a bush to remain undetected. She looked around and noticed Naruto tied to a pole as he shouted and flailed asking to be untied only to have a pink-haired girl walk towards him. Oh, thank you, Sakura-chan, just untie it from the back, and Naruto got interrupted as he felt her kicking him between his legs. Don't you ever put Chan in my name ever again. No girl will ever let you use that in her name. Sakura shouted as she kicked him again. Thanks to you I lost my chance again with Sasuke-kun. She shouted as she landed a hard punch to his gut. I wish you had never been born, you monster. The next time I see your face I will kill you myself. You might as well leave the village. It's not like anyone will notice you are gone. Sakura finished and rushed off to find Sasuke. Naruto tried his best not to cry, which Konan could notice as she hid in a bush off to his left. The words that Sakura said slowly sank in. Konan got ready to approach Naruto, but a group of Chunin entered the field to Naruto's right. Konan stayed her ground as the group continued until they all ended up in front of the boy and began to pour a strange liquid all over his body. Stupid leaf shinobi thinking they can rid of a demon within a jinchuriki with holy water, Konan thought, but realized that it isn't what she thinks it to be as one of the Chunin lit a match. Konan dashed over to intervene, but she made it too late as the match touched the gas-covered Naruto, causing him to burst into flames. Burn in the fires of hell from which you came from, demon. A Chunin said, only to be knocked out by a swift attack to the back of the neck. The rest of the Chunin soon fell unconscious before they could realize what is happening, and the last one she grabbed by the wrist. Using her chakra she launched him as far as she could. He soon disappeared from sight as flew through the air away from the village. She then quickly put out the flames as his screaming rang in her ears and cut the ropes, causing the said ropes to fall to his feet. Konan quickly wrapped her arms around Naruto and he fell down shivering in pain, and then used her chakra to help heal the near third-degree burns. If I go to aim with you, will I be treated like trash there too? Naruto asked. Of course not. Konan said as she pulled his body closer to her own. Then I'll go, Naruto finished as the burns completely faded away. Alright, then let's get to aim, Konan said as the two dashed off towards Naruto's apartment to get the thing he would want to take with him. At the apartment, Naruto grabbed another one, his jumpsuits, and quickly put it on while Konan is being distracted by a picture of Team 7. Naruto quickly put the burnt jumpsuit into his bag and the two left out the bedroom window heading towards aim. 6 hours later with Kakashi. So how did this batch of trainees turn out? Did they meet your standards, or did this group fail too? Guy asked with a big smile. They passed, but it turns out that a hyperactive ball of energy ended up in my team, Kakashi said, sitting in front of a square table with Guy across from him, Kurenai to his left and Asuma to his right. You must be talking about Naruto Uzumaki, so he is one of your new students, Kurenai commented. Yeah, he is. Wait, speaking of Naruto, I kinda left him tied to a training post back at the training field, Kakashi said and got up. That is a great first impression, leaving one of your students tied to a training post, Kurenai commented with a smirk. Yeah, you can rub it in when I get back, Kakashi said and disappeared in a cloud of smoke. At the training field, Kakashi stood in shock as he looked at the burnt post but no sign of Naruto. He tried to resist vomiting from the stench of burnt human flesh and hair. He looked to his right to see about 7 Chunin fleeing the scene. They must be responsible for this, Kakashi thought as he dashed in front of the group, slightly blinded by rage. Where is Naruto? Kakashi yelled, getting ready to activate his lightning blade. No clue, but Ryu isn't anywhere to be found. He must have carried the demon's lifeless body where it will never be found. said one of the Chunin with a grin as the others high-fives each other with what they think to be their success. Naruto is no demon. Kakashi yelled as he activated his lightning blade and charged at the group completely blinded by rage. But Asuma appeared next to him grabbing his wrist causing the lightning blade to deactivate. Killing them wouldn't make you any better, Kakashi, Asuma said as the other Jounin from earlier appeared knocking the Chunin unconscious. How did? It was obvious that something was wrong when your chakra started going out of control, so we came to see what is going on, Kurenai said asking Kakashi's question before he even finished asking. Kakashi dropped his head for letting his rage get the better of him. There is no sign of Naruto's or the Nine Tails chakra. The best we can do is carry these shinobi to Hokage-sama and report that Naruto has been killed and his body is missing, Guy said, and they all headed off to the village carrying the Chunin. Meanwhile with Naruto and Konan in the Rain Country. Konan is currently in her angel form gliding through the air with Naruto riding on her back. Naruto is busy looking at Konan's paper wings which didn't go unnoticed by her. As soon as we get a little closer to Amigakure I'm going to need some rest for using this for so long, we will be stopping at a cave just ahead of us, Non said feeling her chakra running low. You can do what you want, I'm just happy that we got out of Fire Country without any big problems, Naruto said with his foxy grin. Later with Kakashi and the other Jounin. I'm sure that Hokage-sama's search team will find something we just have to go by what we were told for the meantime, Kurenai said trying to support Kakashi. Alright I'm just going to sleep this off, Kakashi said sadly and closed his apartment door. Heading to his bedroom he then flopped himself on his bed and slowly fell asleep still in his uniform. I'm sorry Minato-sensei, Kakashi thought to himself. The next morning, Naruto woke and found himself fully dressed and being carried on Konan's back as she walked the what appears to a large village being poured on by rain. Where are we? Naruto asked as he began looking around. This is Amigakure, your new home, Konan answered as she placed Naruto down on his feet. So you brought the Jinchuriki back alive I see, said a voice of to the right of the group. Naruto looked over to see who it is. Naruto could see a man wearing a slashed Konoha forehead protector and the same cloak that Konan is wearing. On his right ring finger he is wearing a ring which is red and bore the kanji for vermilion. He is also wearing purple nail polish on his fingers and toes and a necklace which has 3 silver rings with red gems inside them. Who are you? Naruto asked as he looked up at him because of his height compared to the mystery man. His name is Itachi Uchiha, he is with us, Konan answered for the man known as Itachi. You two should hurry and go to Nagato, he has been waiting, Itachi said and disappeared in a swarm of crows. He's right we should hurry, Konan said and rushed off with Naruto. Later with Konan, Naruto and Nagato. Konan and Naruto stood in front of a man with long red hair that covered one side of his face. The man is wearing a jet black cloak. So you succeeded in the mission, the man said as he slowly walked towards the two. Of course Nagato, Konan said. Let's just hope that your relationship does not affect the Akatsuki, Nagato said as he looked up at Konan who is as pale as snow. Your little sex drive seems to have gotten the better of you. Nagato said with a small grin. It's not what you think Nagato, Konan said with a blush. Oh but it is, Nagato said with a small chuckle. Let's just keep this between us, Konan pleaded. Fine, Nagato said and looked over to Naruto. So are you willing to join the Akatsuki or did you just come because Konan made you? Nagato asked. I have my reasons, Naruto said as he remembered the what happened yesterday. Nagato looked at Konan and her facial expression told him everything. I see, well let's get you set up, everyone in the Akatsuki will be training you, your gear is over there, Nagato said pointing to a small table with an Akatsuki cloak and some other things on it. Once Naruto put on the cloak he looked back to see Nagato and Konan waiting for him. Let's introduce you to the others, Nagato said as he and Konan left the room with Naruto not too far behind him. Nagato swiftly pushed open a set of double doors only to see man with green eyes wearing a black and gray face mask and also an Akatsuki cloak that conceals most of his appearance. Holding a man with white hair slicked back and wearing an Akatsuki cloak in a headlock as some of the others wearing the same cloaks are gathered around them. Enough, Nagato yelled. He started it, the man with slicked back white hair pointing at the one who currently has him in a headlock. And I'm ending it, Kakuzu let Haiden go, Nagato ordered. The two now known as Haiden and Kakuzu separated. What the hell is up his ass? Hayden thought to himself as he rubbed his neck. You two make great first example, Konan said as she stepped to her right revealing Naruto who is wearing an Akatsuki cloak and no headband but the legs to his jumpsuit were below the bottom of the cloak. Ends. Who's the little one? Asked a man that's similar to a shark but with spiky blue hair. Whoever he is I want a shot at him, the amount of chakra he has tells me he must be strong, said a man with long blonde hair tied up into a large ponytail on top of his head as he revealed his hand which seems to have mouths on his palms. None of you will be getting a shot at him, instead all of you will be training him, his name is Naruto Uzumaki, Nagato said. Why the hell are all of us going to train this little guy for? The man with the odd hands asked as he put his said hands back to his sides. Take a wild guess, Deidara, Konan asked the blonde man now known as Deidara. Well, judging by the massive amount of chakra he has I would say he is a Jinchuriki, Deidara said as he scratched his chin with his right hand. Good job Deidara, but technically he is the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, Nagato finished and could see disbelief on everyone's faces. This might just make things interesting in the Akatsuki, a man with red hair said. I'm going to make him understand what true art is, so don't get in my way Sasori, Deidara said to the red-haired man. Pathetic, Sasori said with a huff. Well you should all get started, Nagato said as he walked off with Konan. Before we start I will test your limits, let's go to the outskirts of the village, said a man said from the shadows with spiky orange hair and piercings on his face, just before he disappeared. Kid, it was nice knowing you while you were alive, Hayden said. For once I agree with Hayden, Kakuzu said. What do you mean? Naruto asked in confusion. Kid, that was Pain, the strongest out of all of us besides Nagato. Pain is known as a god in this village. He is going to destroy you, Kakuzu said as he disappeared. Naruto began to pale from the news. Don't worry, we'll be there watching to mourn your death, Hayden said with an evil chuckle before he vanished. Don't worry kid, I'm sure he will go easy on you, or at least I think he will, Kisame said, and everyone else vanished leaving Naruto there alone. I can do this, I just have to prove myself, Naruto said before he rushed off to the outskirts of the village. Later at a wide open field with rain pouring down over it, Naruto stood in front of everyone as they looked down at him. I thought you wouldn't come, you got balls kid, balls, Hayden said. I'm not giving up even if the enemy can take on all the shinobi nations at once. Let's do this, Naruto said as he curled his hands into fists and got into a fighting stance. Humph, Pain just extended his left arm out towards Naruto. Let's begin, he said. Everyone but Naruto and Pain jumped back, far back. Why does Pain get a shot at him and not me? Deidara asked. I'm with you on that one, Deidara, Hayden said. Shut it you two, you could learn a thing or two from this fight, Itachi said as he rested his left arm on the half-unbuttoned cloak. Come at me, Pain said. Naruto whipped out a kunai and made a head-on charge at the man in front of him. Humph, fool, almighty push, Pain yelled as he sent Naruto flying with nothing more than chakra that surrounded Pain in a ball and then expanded. What the hell was that? Naruto thought as he crashed to ground and began flipping and rolling to a stop, but Naruto continued to lay there still as a rock. That was faster than I thought it would be, Sasori said to himself. You're weak, I can't believe Pain stopped as he felt a hand wrap around his left ankle causing him so look down. He could see Naruto's hand sticking out of the ground as it wrapped around his ankle as Naruto's head began to emerge from the ground. How did you? Pain said before Naruto threw him backwards as Naruto fully emerged from the ground. What just happened? Deidara thought to himself as he looked over at the other Naruto lying on the ground, but it soon disappeared in a cloud of white smoke. Shadow clone? All of them asked, but Itachi. Nice move kid. Hayden yelled. Keep it down you idiot, Kakuzu said as he took a good look at the boy. Kakuzu is right, let's try not to distract the boy, Sasori said. Not bad kid, but it's not over, Pain said as he dashed at Naruto. Naruto threw four shuriken to try and slow his enemy, but it failed as he deflected one of them, but the other three were far off course. It seems he needs training in throwing projectiles. Deidara can train with that, Pain thought to himself as he pulled out a black rod-like weapon. Let's test his hand-to-hand combat skills. Pain quickly went to slash at Naruto, but he quickly rolled to the right. Pain quickly began stabbing at Naruto as he rolled, but each time missed as he continuously ended up stabbing the ground. His speed is good but could still use a bit of work. he thought as Naruto got back on his feet and jumped back. Naruto quickly summoned another shadow clone that appeared behind Pain as he stood there. I have to come up with a counter-attack in case he does that push thing again. The same thing most likely won't work twice on this guy, Naruto thought as he and the clone charged at Pain, but at the last second he jumped into the air and the two Narutos followed suit. There is no way around it this time, almighty push. Pain yelled as ball of chakra formed around him and suddenly expanded, causing the Naruto behind him to turn to smoke and the one in front of him to be sent flying backwards. Damn it, I fell into that one, Naruto thought as he began flipping and rolling on the ground until it finally stopped and stood back on his feet. His cloak is now covered with tears along with patches of missing fabric. I'm going to need a new cloak after I finished getting my ass kicked, Naruto thought to himself. 2, 1, 0, Pain thought as he finished what seemed to be a countdown from behind Naruto. Naruto looked around for his target but could not find him until he felt a chakra surge from behind him, and as he quickly turned around he could see Pain. Almighty push! He yelled again as a ball of white chakra formed around him. Not again, Naruto thought as he tried to quickly come up with something. He began to act upon instinct as he extended his right arm outward towards Pain and put his left hand on his right shoulder to help pump chakra, causing his right arm to glow a red color. RRAGGH. Naruto yelled as he pushed the chakra out the palm of his hand at the same time that Pain's chakra ball extended outward, causing the two chakras to collide, pushing the two both backwards away from each other. Naruto managed to slide to a halt on his feet instead of flipping and rolling backwards. Pain on the other hand smashed the back of his head to the ground, rendering him unconscious, yet he continued skid along the ground until he finally stopped. Did the newbie just beat Pain in a match? None of us could even do that together, Kakuzu said with shock in his voice. It seems there is more to this kid than meets the eye, Itachi said. We should go check on the two though, Deidara said with shock in his voice also. As everyone left to go check on the two, Hayden stood in the same spot with his jaw to the floor. What the hell just happened? He thought to himself. Itachi carried Pain over his shoulder as he walked towards Naruto, who stood staring at his right hand as if he had never seen it before. That was awesome. Naruto yelled out as he began jumping up and down. Alright, calm down kid, you might pull a muscle jumping around like that, Kakuzu said, as everyone began heading back to the village with Naruto not far behind the group. Off behind the group a man began to emerge from the ground. One side of his body is black and the other is white with what appears to be a flytrap surrounding his head. It seems Nagato is not doing what Madara has told him to do with the Jinchurikis, but it seems that boy can become a useful ally, the man said, then submerged back into the ground. Back at the hideout within the village, Itachi placed Pain on a chair in a sitting position. There, now we just have to wait for him to wake up again, Itachi said as he disappeared in a swarm of crows. Nice job kid, Kakuzu said. I agree, said a voice that seemed to come from Pain, causing everyone to look at Pain to see him looking straight at Naruto. Pa, Hayden began stuttering out. You sound like some kind of majestic eagle, Kakuzu said. Shut it, Hayden responded. I wasn't expecting there to be a winner in that little match, but I still learned what I needed to know. Deidara, you will train him in throwing projectiles, everyone else train him the way you see fit, Pain said as he got out of the chair and walked off to find Nagato. Sounds good to me, Kisame said. Let's get started then, Sasori said. He walked off. Later with Naruto. Naruto stood in the same wide-open field as he was when fighting Pain. That was a waste of energy to just come back here, Naruto commented to himself. Sasori pulled out a scroll and summoned a puppet. I will be teaching you how to use puppets, Sasori said. Puppets? Naruto asked with a puzzled expression. What, did you not know you can use a puppet for combat? Sasori asked, to which Naruto shook his head. You got a lot to learn then, he commented back with a slight grin. I have a bad feeling about this, Naruto thought as he noticed some kind of liquid dripping from the blades on the puppet. I'm going to definitely need a new cloak after this, hope they don't mind. He finished as the puppet approached him. Don't let the blades cut you, Sasori said as his grin grew bigger. I can see that, Naruto said as paled from the twisted look on Sasori's face. After training with Sasori, Naruto fell to the ground on his stomach in a small bedroom, in front of Konan, who couldn't help but giggle by his sudden actions. I have never been so worn out before, Naruto said as he laid heaving on the floor. And you smell like a foot too, Conan said. I second that, Naruto said as he jumped back up to his feet. Come with me, I have an idea, Conan said as she grabbed Naruto's left wrist and began pulling him with her as she headed out of the tower. I don't have much of a choice but to come with you when you are pulling me around, Naruto's sweat dropped. Later, what are we doing at an all-gender hot spring? Naruto asked as he looked over at Conan to see a perverted smile on her face and quickly figured out what is going on. Oh hell no. Naruto yelled as he tried to make a run for it, but she grabbed him by the back of the collar to his torn-up cloak. You're not going anywhere, Naruto-kun, Conan said as she began dragging him into the large build with a large hot spring inside. Minutes later, Naruto sat in the steaming hot water as he sank down lower and lower as more people began to turn their heads towards him. Conan sat off to his right as she tried to hold in her laughter. It's not funny, Conan-chan, this has to be the most embarrassing thing in my life to date, Naruto said as he sank even lower to try to cover the blush appearing on his face as more and more female eyes began to look his way. A missive pervert must have come up with this place, Naruto thought. I agree, Naruto-kun, it's not funny, it's hilarious, Conan said and began laughing, causing Naruto's entire face to turn pink as more people began to look their way from the sudden noise. I'm actually surprised that this place isn't packed with males who usually just come to be a bunch of perverts, Conan thought with relief. Hey Tenchi-senpai, isn't that the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki? Asked girl with jet black hair and blue eyes who seemed to be in the 20s to mid-30s on the other side of the hot spring. Oh no, I don't need to go through this already, I just got here, Naruto thought with worry. Yes he is, his name is Naruto Uzumaki, Conan quickly said as she noticed the worry on Naruto's face. Suddenly the dark-haired girl jumped from one side of the hot spring and landed on top of Naruto with her arms wrapped around his small body. What the hell is this? Naruto with shock as Naruto's head sank down between the woman's breasts, all the while causing Conan to give the girl the look of death, but the girl failed to take notice. I can't believe we actually have such a cute Jinchuriki on our side, the girl said and soon released Naruto. As Naruto sat down, everyone within the hot spring began slowly swarm around him. Later, as Conan and Naruto left the hot spring, what was that all about? Naruto asked as he liked to his left up at Conan. It was because they see you as a shield that can protect this village, like a hero, Conan answered as she looked down at Naruto. A hero? How could I be seen as a hero when I hold very thing that causes pain, sorrow and war? I hold the demon that attacked the leaf, killing hundreds of shinobi and villagers. The Jinchurikis are meant hold the tailed beast, stop them. Jinchurikis are also capable of using the tailed beast's chakra to help others, which is what can make them be seen as a hero, Conan said. Then I want to continue to train every day so that can be the hero that this village, so I be the hero this village needs, Naruto said as he pumped his right fist into the air. That's the spirit, Naruto, Conan said with giggle from Naruto's sudden action. I'm sure you will become what you say you will as long as you train really hard, Conan though to herself. By the way, Conan-chan, where am I supposed to sleep? Naruto asked as he lowered his arm. With me of course, or would you rather sleep alone in a different room? Conan asked with a small grin that went unnoticed by Naruto as he looked to the ground with a blush plaster to his face. I take it that you want to share then, Conan said. 7 months later. What do you mean I have joined the Chunin exams in the Leaf Village? Naruto asked as he stood in front of Nagato and Conan. I'm sorry, Naruto, I know how much you don't want to go back there, Nagato said, placing his right hand on Naruto's left shoulder. Well, from the amount of time that I have been here I know that you would do this if you had a good reason, so what would that reason be? Naruto asked with his head down. A boy named Gaara is in a condition like you would be if you would have stayed in the Leaf, but he is from the Sand Village, Nagato said, knowing how he feels about Naruto not wanting other to go through what he did. Naruto looked up at Nagato, making eye contact with him. Is he a Jinchuriki like me? Naruto asked. Yes, he is the One-Tails Jinchuriki, Conan answered. Then I'll go, Naruto said with a huff. He is still too easy to convince, Nagato and Conan both thought. But how am I supposed to go up against another Jinchuriki if I haven't really gotten stronger at all? Plus pain prohibited me from using that jutsu because he thinks I'm going to blow my arm off. All I have up my sleeve is my shadow clones, Naruto complained. That is why Pain is going to be training you, but you are still prohibited from using that jutsu, and during the exam your name will be Menma Uzumaki, Nagato said as he took his hand off Naruto's shoulder. Naruto walked out of the room as he prepared to go train. Nagato, are you sure he should go to the Leaf Village? It's the very place that caused him so much pain, Konan said as she looked over to Nagato. Sometimes you must face your fears in order to get rid of them. Plus Otogakure is planning on attacking the Leaf alongside with the Sand Village, and Gaara is the main pawn for the attack. Nagato sat as he sat down in a small chair. He will face an even bigger problem when he finds out who his teammates have been set to be, Nagato said. I see, Konan responded as she looked back towards where she last seen Naruto. Poor kid. In Konohagakure. All of Rookie 8 and the teachers/senseis sat inside of a barbecue restaurant where everyone sat together. Kakashi sat next to Asuma and Guy with the left side of his head on the table face towards his glass of water that he is currently tapping with his index finger. I understand that you're still depressed about Naruto's death, but you have been sitting there tapping that glass of water for over an hour, Kurenai said. The flames of youth shined bright within that boy, and he will always be with us. Lee yelled out, giving what Niji thought to be hearing lose as he sat to the left of him. Lee is right, but if you continue acting like this I'm going to have to force feed you. Your plate has remained untouched ever since we got here. Ever since Naruto died things have been more troublesome than before, Shikamaru said as he put the last piece of dango that was on his plate in his mouth. I actually miss the little squirt, Kiba said, getting a bark of approval from Akamaru. I remember when he decorated the village with all of the Hyuga undergarments, Ino said with a giggle. Don't get me started with that one, Niji said. It was his destiny to die that day, there was no way of changing it, Niji though, as he shoved a small rice cake into his face. Hinata just blushed as she finally realized something. That means he seen my panties, and he also touched the tea dash. Hinata was interrupted by the sound of Kurenai's voice. None of you are really helping right now, Kurenai said. Sorry Kurenai-sensei, Ino said as she dropped her head. No, it's fine Kurenai-san, I need to get over the past and focus on the present, Kakashi said as he lifted his head up. Good, because I got word from the Hokage today that a single shinobi from the Rain is said to be joining Team 7 for the Chunin exams, so that your team is able to partake in the exams. Kakashi's eyes widened by the news. I'm glad to hear that my team has a chance then, Kakashi said as he began to eat. Later, after training with Naruto, Naruto sat on the ground as he began building back up his chakra. Minutes later Naruto stood back up to his feet and summoned a couple of shadow clones. I don't care if Pain thinks I will blow my arm off, this could become a powerful jutsu and useful in the future, Naruto said to himself as the shadow clones charged towards him. Naruto quickly placed his left hand on his right shoulder and began focusing his chakra into his right arm, causing it to glow blue. Naruto yelled out as he released the chakra, but it backfired and sent him flying backwards. Damn it, what the hell just happened? Naruto asked himself as he recovered from the backfire. You moron, try using my chakra like you did last time, said an evil voice from with Naruto. Who the hell are you? Naruto asked. I am the Nine Tails, maybe you heard of me anyway. Did you notice how your arm glowed blue instead of red? The voice now known as the Nine Tails asked. Yes, but why should I trust you? Naruto asked. Because you want to become the Jinchuriki everyone want, right? But in order to do that you must learn to use my chakra, the fox explained in a short fashion. I see, then how do I use your chakra? Naruto asked. Last time you unknowingly used my chakra because you were in a dangerous position. For example, if someone pushed you off a cliff, you would unknowingly use my chakra if you tried using a jutsu at the last second to save yourself. Over time you will learn to use my chakra on your own accord, the fox explained. Okay, I understand, but how am I supposed to put myself in a position like that? Naruto asked. Well, there is a group of bandits not too far from here that have been said to be kidnapping women and young girls from the village. A large pay is also offered if you bring what hostages you can save back to the village, the fox said. If kidnappings are involved, then this just gives me another reason why I should go, Naruto thought, and the Kyuubi told him where the hideout is located. Less than half an hour later, Naruto laid down hidden inside of a bush that is rather close to a small area that has tents and small wooden buildings and other things. Screaming could be heard in the middle of the small camp. This is defiantly the place, Naruto said as he began surveying the area. Something big must be going on in the middle because they don't have any guards on the outside, the fox commented. Naruto looked around the rooftops for a suitable position to see what is going on in the middle. Naruto soon found a suitable wooden building and quickly jumped from the bush to the top of the building and looked down to see what is going on in the middle. So who's first, ladies? We boys need to expand our organization, said a man with dark brown hair wearing a green jacket and a black suit underneath. All the other bandits are wearing the exact same thing, looking over the what seems to be 20 hostages in all. I call this one, said a man with long white hair as he poked at a girl with brown hair, and she seems to be only 13 at the most. I bet she is going to be nice and tight, the man said with a sadistic smile. Get away from her, you pedophile. A girl with jet black hair and blue eyes yelled towards the man. Hey, that's that girl from the hot spring, Naruto thought to himself. And maybe I might just have the loud mouth, the man with spiky black hair said as he slid his hand up her left leg, causing her to whimper. I can't watch this anymore, Naruto thought as his eyes began to turn red and his pupils began to form into slits. It seems rage causes him to unknowingly use my chakra too, the fox thought to itself. Naruto jumped into the air and landed on the brown-haired man as he smashed his right leg down on his skull, rendering the man unconscious, and Naruto's eyes began to turn back to normal. You better get away from the little one if you would rather keep those hands of yours. That voice, it's Naruto, the girl with black hair thought. You got some balls coming here, kid, the white-haired man said. Looks like this kid wants to play hero, said a man with red spiky hair. Let's show him what happens to heroes, he finished as he began slowly walking towards Naruto. Naruto soon noticed that there are only a total of 3, but one of them is already dealt with, leaving only 2 left. Naruto, get out of here, they will kill you just like the others, the black-haired woman said. I will not leave here without all of you, so just sit back and relax, Naruto said as he stood with his back straight and hands at his sides as faced straight toward the red-headed opponent. Hope you're ready to die, brat, the man said as he threw his right arm towards Naruto. But Naruto grabbed him by the wrist and put his leg out in front of him, causing the man to fall to his face with his right wrist still in Naruto's hand. Naruto slowly began to bend straight arm backward, putting pressure to his elbow and shoulder as he put his left foot on the man's back. You little shit, you're going to break my arm. The man yelled out in pain. That's the point, Naruto said as he continued to bend the man's arm. Suddenly the man with white hair appeared on Naruto's right, punching Naruto's gut, sending him flying backwards. Suddenly the two appeared over Naruto as he skidded along the ground with swords in hand, going for a downward stab. Naruto quickly focused his chakra to his entire body, causing him to glow red, and he quickly released the chakra outward, sending the two flying backwards. Naruto quickly dashed towards the white-hair man and smashed his hand down on the man's chest as hard as he could, and could hear his ribs cracking as a result, and also knocking the man unconscious. Now all that is left is, Naruto got cut off as the redhead smashed his fist into the left side of Naruto's jaw, sending him flying to the right. Is me. The redhead finished as he dashed to the side of Naruto, who is getting up, and used his right leg to kick Naruto up into the air. You're so damn small that it makes you a damn rag doll when I hit you. The man laughed and jumped into the air, smashed both his fist to the top of Naruto's head, sending him rocketing to the ground. Naruto tried to get up, but the man landed on top of him and began smashing his fists into random areas of Naruto's body. First I'm going to tie you up, the man said as he smashed his fist into his gut. Then I'm going to force the girls to rape you, the man said as he pulled out a kunai and stabbed the right side of his chest. Just so I can have a show and watch the look on your face, the man finished as he pushed the kunai deeper into his chest. That has to be the stupidest idea I ever heard in my life, Naruto commented. Naruto soon noticed that the kunai has a chakra seal on it as it began to suck his chakra dry at a fast rate, so he acted quickly by pulling out a kunai of his own and smashing it into the side of the man's head, killing him. No one needs people like you in this world anyway, Naruto said as the body fell to the left of Naruto, who pulled the kunai out of his chest and threw it off to the side. He slowly worked his way over to the black-haired woman and untied her. Is there any other bandits I should know about? Naruto asked. No, the others died a couple days ago while hunting, the black-haired girl said. That's good, Naruto said before fell to the floor. It seems over the months you have gotten better with the jutsu, even though you have not been practicing with it. I would guess that it is because of all the chakra control lessons, the fox commented with a huff. Are you alright, Naruto-san? The woman with the black hair asked. I'm fine, I just need to rest for a bit, Naruto said as the woman began untying everyone else. That boy won't do the same thing as the others, will he? The young brunette asked with worry. Of course not, she responded as she cut the rope that tied the young girl's arms behind her back. How do you know he won't, Aimi? Asked a woman with long flowing red hair that reached her mid-thighs as the young one untied the knot binding her arms. Because the black-haired woman now known as Aimi looked over to Naruto, who is laying on the ground heaving. Because he is the Jinchuriki of Amigakure and someday he will become a real hero for our village, she finished with a smile. A Jinchuriki has joined our village? The redhead asked as she looked over to the sun-kissed blonde who still laid on the floor heaving as if he is having trouble breathing. Everyone in the middle of the camp soon had their bindings removed and went to release the ones in the tents and buildings. Later at night, Naruto's eyes opened to see that he is being carried by the black-haired woman towards Amigakure's gates, but he could also see Konan running closer and closer to his location. What happened? Konan asked as she grabbed Naruto. He saved us from the bandit camp not too far from here, said the redhead. It seems that our Jinchuriki is going to be a real hero, Aimi said. Paper began to swarm around Naruto and Konan. That he will, Konan said before the two disappeared in the swirl of papers. With Konan and Naruto, what the hell were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed, Konan said, causing Naruto to jump out of her arms. Well, I am still alive, Konan-chan, Naruto said with a huff as he crossed his arms. What made you go and do that anyway? Konan asked with a raised eyebrow. I wanted to test my strength, Naruto partly lied. Well, if you won that must mean you have gotten stronger, but what about your stamina, has it gotten better? Konan asked with a grin. What do you mean by the? Just zip it and lie down on the bed, Konan said, cutting Naruto off as she began undressing. It's been a long time to me and I want to feel him again, Konan thought as she removed the last article of clothing. Naruto complied and laid down on the bed as he remembered what happened almost 8 months ago back in the cave. You can think of this as a present for your hard work or just a sign of love, Konan said, but knew that he would see it as sign of love. After all, he does love her. Konan crawled up the bed on his hands and knees until her head was hovering over his. How would you like to start? She asked before planting her lips on his. You know more about this than I do, Naruto said as he felt his rod beginning to harden. Konan quickly pulled off Naruto's cloak and tossed it off to the side with her clothes. She then grabbed the seams of his trousers along with his boxers and swiftly pulled them off and threw them into the same direction as the cloak. Naruto blushed as his rod slapped the right side of her jaw as it shot up, but all it really did is arouse Konan even more. This time I'm going to overwhelm you, Konan said as paper began to form into a clone of her lying on the bed to the left of Naruto. Naruto looked at the clone with a questioning look as he tried to figure out what a clone would be needed for. What is the clone for? Naruto got interrupted as the clone grabbed the sides of his head and pressed her lips against his. The real Konan grinned and quickly took hold of his rod, causing Naruto to open his mouth a bit as he let out a moan. The clone used this to her advantage and slid her tongue past his lips, earning a louder moan from the boy. You're too easy to pleasure, Naruto-kun, Konan said before she slid her tongue over his cock, earning a moan from the sun-kissed blonde. Naruto wanted to respond but he clearly could not as Konan's clone began exploring with her tongue inside of his mouth, pushing him closer and closer to his limit. This feels so good, I'm already about come, Naruto thought to himself. Come on, come for me, Naruto-kun, the real Konan thought as she began bobbing her head even faster. Only a couple seconds later Naruto released into Konan's mouth with a loud moan coming from the boy. Konan did her best to down all of it and removed him from her mouth, causing a loud pop and some leftover cum to trail down her chin, but she quickly swiped it up with her finger and licked it off. The clone parted the kiss, giving Naruto more of a chance to breath. Once you're ready for the main course then we'll begin, the real Konan said as the clone moved, allowing her to lie down on her back and roll Naruto on top of her. Then the clone laid atop of him, putting him in a sandwich. Later, would you like to begin now? The clone above Naruto asked with a whisper into his ear. Yeah, Naruto said as he wrapped his arms around the Konan below him. As she wrapped her own arms around him, the clone took hold of his rod and guided it towards the real Konan's entrance. Once found, he slow began to slide himself further in. It's so I still don't know how to explain, it feels great though, that is for sure. Naruto thought as he let out a moan along with Konan, but her clone wrapped her arms around him and began to grind her body against his, earning an even louder moan from the blonde. Naruto soon slid himself completely into her, then began to pull back out until only the tip of his cock was left inside, and then he repeated the action over and over again, slowly increasing his pace. "That feels great, Naruto-kun, keep it up," Konan moaned out. Naruto tried his best to not come too soon to further pleasure Konan, but it failed as the two females are just too much for him. He ended releasing his seed into her, earning aloud from the both of them. "I'm sorry," Naruto said as finished as he began to fall asleep from the lack of energy. "Don't be," Konan said as Naruto fell asleep, "we'll just work on that over time," she finished as her paper clone disappeared in swarm of papers. The next morning, Naruto stood in front of the members of the Akatsuki, which most of them seemed to be grinning, earning a puzzled look from Naruto. "Today you will be fighting all of us alone, you must win to pass the test," Pain said as Ever got into a fighting stance, but there was a small catch to their stances. Sasori had over 100 puppets above him. Kisame seemed to have transformed into a shark, or more like a shark in his case. Deidara is standing on a giant dragon made of clay that is hovering above the ground. Itachi is surrounded by a massive red skeletal figure. Haiden's skin is white and black with a sadistic look on his face. Kakuzu has a bunch of what appears to Naruto as a bunch of black tentacles coming out of his body. Pain is just standing there with his left arm extended out towards Naruto, and Konan is standing off to the side as if she wanted no part of the fight. This all caused Naruto to slightly pale. "I need to come up with a plan if I'm going to fight everyone like this." Naruto managed to dodge Haiden's scythe as he appeared out of nowhere. "We have been waiting a long time to fight you, Naruto," Haiden yelled as he swiftly kicked Naruto up into the air, giving Deidara the chance to throw 3 clay birds at him. "I have to try and block it," Naruto quickly thought as he put his arms in front of him to block the attack, but the explosion sent him flying back. "Bad idea," Naruto thought as he crashed into the ground but rolled to his feet. "I need to take out Deidara first, that way I don't have to worry about his explosions when fighting the others. Wait, that's it," he thought and jumped up towards Deidara. "Fool!" Deidara yelled and threw a clump of clay at Naruto. Naruto summoned a shadow clone to swallow the clay. Deidara put on a confused look. Naruto grabbed the clone by the ankles in midair and threw the clone as hard as he could at Deidara. Once the clone smashed into Deidara, it began to flare the Nine Tails chakra, causing the clay inside it to explode, sending Deidara crashing to the floor back first. "Damn it, I can't move," Deidara said with disappointment. "I didn't think that would work," Naruto said as he landed on the ground. "Not bad, kid. He used my chakra to make the clay detonate. My chakra is supposed to rid of anything in his body that is not supposed to be there, and he used that to his advantage. Not bad at all, kid," the Nine Tails thought to itself. "Now I have to worry about Haiden and the others," Naruto thought as he dashed at Haiden with nearly invisible ninja wire in his left hand and a kunai in the other with the string tied in a knot around the ring at the bottom of the hilt of the kunai. "You can't beat me with the little toy," Haiden said, not noticing the ninja wire. Naruto dashed by Haiden but stabbed the kunai into his right shoulder and began spinning around him, causing the ninja wire to wrap around Haiden, then finished it off by tying it into a knot behind his back. "Damn, you're smart with this shit," Haiden said with a huff. "You have gotten stronger, but this isn't over yet." Planetary devastation. Pain yelled as he tossed a small black ball towards Naruto. "What is th?" Naruto got cut off as the attack smashed into him and went flying in the air with the small ball attached to him. "This is too far," Konan yelled. "Plus the village is just over there." She pointed to her left to reveal the village along with most of the villagers of to the side watching the fight. Everyone and the village could be destroyed by this jutsu. Nothing is too far when you fight a Jinchuriki, plus he needs to learn how to get out of these kind of situations, and you need not worry, I have this under control," Pain said as he threw a black rod into Naruto that began draining his chakra. "Naruto," Konan thought with sadness. The earth below Naruto began to raise, smashing into one another and piling around Naruto and the small black ball. Putting this black rod into him was a very bad idea, the fox thought. Soon a massive ball of earth stood in the air. "I get that he is a Jinchuriki and all, but I'm with Konan on this one. This is too far," Itachi thought along with Sasori. "Inside the massive ball of earth, I'm losing my chakra, I can barely breathe, I can tell my bones breaking from the pressure, I'm out of chakra." Naruto finished as the rod drained the last of his chakra. back with everyone on the ground. I'm not feeling his chakra anymore. I think he may be dead in there, Kisame said with a hint of worry in his voice. Pain quickly began flipping through hand signs to release the jutsu but only batted to the second hand sign when suddenly a ton of chakra that seemed to be flowing with hatred and evil. Where the hell is this massive chakra coming from? Sasori asked, and everyone began looking around in front of them, and finding anyone they quickly turned around only to see nothing but earth and air. Then a massive explosion went off along with a shock wave that nearly sent them all flying away. Their eyes widened and quickly turned around to look at the massive ball of earth to see that a small hole in the side of it has been blown away and a couple of large rocks came crashing to the floor. A large fox head began to pop out of the small hole with a loud growl. The rod I threw must have stolen all his chakra, causing the Nine Tails chakra to replace his in order to stop him from dying, Pain thought, and over to Conan. Conan, get the villagers to safety while we deal with this, Pain ordered. I understand, Conan said as she threw paper that is glowing green to Deidara, which began to heal his back, letting him move again, and dashed off to the villagers who stood in shock. With Naruto laying down on what seemed to be air with black fog surrounding him. Get lost, demon, said a voice. Why don't you just die, said another voice. Your mother abandoned you. Who would want a demon for a son anyway? Shut up, Naruto said as tears began to fall. Demon spawn, said another. Who would let a demon become Hokage? No one will ever love you. No one will ever let the likes of you become a shinobi, you monster. Leave me alone, Naruto said as he continued to cry. You always be an orphan, monster. I hate you. No one will ever trust you. That isn't true, Naruto said as cried more and more. Don't you ever put Chan in my name ever again. No girl will ever let you use that in her name. Thanks to you I lost my chance with Sasuke-kun. I wish you had never been born, you monster. The next time I see your face I will kill you myself. You might as well leave the village. It's not like anyone will notice you are gone, said a familiar female voice. Sakura, Naruto said as he began crying even more. Why did they all treat me like trash? Why did they hate me? I'll make them all regret it. Naruto yelled out to nothing. Back with the others. The fox opened its mouth and began charging a small ball of chakra in his mouth. Scatter, Pain yelled as the beast launched the ball at them, creating a massive explosion, but they managed to get away in time with Haiden over Kakuzu's shoulder. None of this is me, the Nine Tails thought. It's all Naruto. He has been blinded by hatred, the beast finished with a huff. The beast began to dig its way out of the massive ball of earth and land on the ground, and then began to act as if it's running away. Where is he going? Haiden asked as Kakuzu untied him. Judging by the direction, I'd say he is heading to the Leaf Village, Itachi said as he dashed towards Naruto, who is currently in nine-tailed form. If that is true, then we need to stop him, Pain said as he dashed off with Itachi, who is still surrounded by the red figure. The rest caught up to Pain, and Itachi and Haiden tried to cut the beast with his scythe, but it was no use. It's too thick to cut, Haiden said. Then hold it off. All we can do is hope Naruto does something to stop this, Sasori said as he advanced he puppets in front of the beast to stop it. With Naruto, what is going on? It sounds like there is a fight, Naruto thought to himself. You are Naruto Uzumaki, don't let anyone tell you otherwise, said a voice. Iruka, Naruto said as his eyes widened. Someday you will be seen as a hero, I know you will, said Iruka's voice as he slowly began to appear in front of Naruto. If you want to become Hokage, then you need to work for it. No one just gets named Hokage, you need to become strong and powerful. Let others know they have someone they can trust, said another voice. Old man, Naruto said as the third Hokage began to appear to the left of Iruka, but everything began to shift from black to what is currently happening. He could see a massive nine-tailed beast smash everything around it, trying to hit what seemed to be bugs compared to its size. Is that me? What the hell am I doing? Naruto yelled. Nearly an hour later with the others. We can't keep this up, he is too strong, Itachi said as he shot a black fireball at the beast, but it simply dodged the attack. Suddenly the beast disappeared in a cloud of white smoke, but as it began to clear they noticed an unconscious Naruto falling to the floor, but Pain quickly caught him before he fell to the floor. As he landed back to the ground he gently laid Naruto on his back, and then they all laid down themselves to rest. Suddenly Conan appeared and ran over to Naruto and picked him up. I guess putting him down was a waste of time. Pain's sweat dropped. What happened? Conan asked as she hugged Naruto close to her. Not sure, the beast disappeared and that was about it, Kisame said, heaving on the ground. As Haiden looked at Conan and Naruto, something hit him. Wait, are you two in a relationship or something? Haiden asked, causing everyone to look at him. Haiden, you truly are a Nodoran, Kakuzu said. Shut up! Yelled Haiden. I'm sorry about all this, Naruto whispered, causing Conan to look down at him, noticing that his whisker marks are thicker than normal and his eyes are red with slits. Don't worry about it, Conan said. The Nine Tails chakra must still be flowing through his body, she thought. Conan, get him ready for the exams. He is ready, Pain said, and everyone continued to lay on the ground as Conan disappeared with Naruto. I don't feel like trying that again anytime soon, Haiden said as he lied on the ground. I'm with you on that one, Itachi said as he closed his eyes. I just have to remember not to use these rods on him, Pain said, though I'm going to have to teach him a jutsu to put a hold on most of his chakra and make it not so noticeable, Pain thought to himself. Couple of weeks later, Naruto stood in front of a massive open gate. On the other side is the Leaf Village. This blows, Naruto huffed as he crossed his arms and put his head lower, covering his face with the collar of his cloak. Get over it, this is your fifth real mission, so remember that your name is Menma or else this could get ugly, Pain said, standing as stood in front of Naruto. I won't let anything happen to you, so you need not worry about that, Conan said as he reached down, placing her hand on his shoulder. Let's just get this over with, Naruto said, and they began walking again. As they walked past the gate, a voice could be heard to their left. Are you all here for the exams? Asked a dark-haired man that seemed to have a bandage running over the bridge of his nose. Yes, we are. Well, he is at least, Pain said, pointing to Naruto. Ah, you must be Menma. Your team has been awaiting your arrival, said another man standing next to the other but with slightly long dark brown hair covering his right eye. Who are my teammates anyway? Naruto asked. Team 7, they are at Naruto's grave, you should go meet them, the man with the covered eye said. Go on, Pain ordered, and Naruto jumped off towards the cemetery. That kid's chakra is the size of a 6-year-old, the two guards thought. This so fucking stupid, why do I have to be on their team? Naruto thought as he landed on the ground in the cemetery, yet not too far away from the group standing in front of a grave. It's sad that he had to die, and all he wanted to do is be noticed by everyone, Naruto said as he walked up behind the group. Sasuke quickly turned around and wiped out a kunai. Who the hell are you? He asked, as the fact that Naruto's face is partially covered by the collar of his cloak. Whoa, slow down there, Skippy. I am Menma, I'm filling in for your dead teammate, Naruto said as he stood his ground. How are you joining us? You look like you would have a hard time fighting an ant, Sasuke said as he put his kunai away. An ant? Oh, I'm so going to break my foot off in your ass when I can, Naruto thought to himself. Well, we better get ready then, the exams start tomorrow, Kakashi said, and then disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Well, I guess I'm going to be off too, Naruto said and jumped off. I have a bad feeling about him, Sasuke thought. The three are currently heading to the registration area, but they heard a voice from behind them. Hey, you with the attitude, hold on, a voice said from behind. Huh? Sakura and Sasuke both turned around to see a boy in green standing on a ledge above them. Naruto, on the other hand, stood in place, not caring to turn around. Sakura seemed to panic when she noticed him. Sasuke just turned his head towards him a little more. What do you want? Sasuke asked. I want to fight, right here and right now, the boy in the skin-tight outfit said. Sasuke narrowed his eyes a bit. You want to fight me here and now, huh? Yes. The boy jumped off the ledge and landed on the ground in a crouch position. The N stood to his feet. My name is Rock Lee. The boy, now known as Lee, said, using his right hand to point to himself, but then pointed towards Sasuke. You said it was common courtesy for a challenger to give his own name first, right? Sasuke Uchiha. Humph, so you know me? Sasuke said. I challenge you, Lee said. Everyone is always talking about the Uchiha and how great they are. I want to see if it is true. I figure you would be a good test for me. He finished and switched to a fighting stance, and also Lee looked over to Sakura with a growing blush, earning an odd sound from her. Oh Sakura, I love you. Agag, this can't be real. No. Sakura yelled and wrapped her arms around herself. Your hairstyle is horrible too, and those eyebrows are so bushy. You're such a weirdo. Sakura finished. You are an angel sent from heaven, Lee said, and sent a flying heart toward Sakura, but she dodged it, causing to go past her and splay against the column behind her. That was a good move, Sakura, but let us see you dodge this. He said, sent more hearts towards her, but she managed to dodge them all, but the last one made her smash her head on the ground, causing them to smack into the same column. That was too close, Sakura thought. Hey, keep your creepy little valentines to yourself. I was dodging for my life there, Sakura said. You don't have to be so negative, Sakura, Lee said as he dropped his head. I don't want any part of this, I just want to get this stupid exam over with, Naruto thought and turned around to face Lee. You've heard of the Uchiha clan, yet you're challenging me. You must be more psycho than you look. If that's possible, you want to know more about my clan, then I'll teach you the hard way, Sasuke said. Bring it on, Lee said. Excellent, a matchup against the #1 rookie. I will draw him out and get him to reveal his technique, then I will prove myself to you, Gai-sensei. He thought. There's no time, Sasuke-kun, we've got to register before 3 o'clock, that's less than half an hour, Sakura said, noticing the time. Relax, this will all be over in 5 seconds, Sasuke said and began running towards Lee. Here he comes, forgive me, Gai-sensei, I know it is forbidden, but I may have to break the rules and use that jutsu, Lee thought as Sasuke went for a punch only for him to disappear and reappear above Sasuke. Leaf Hurricane. Lee yelled as he went for a kick. I'm not moving fast enough, I've got to block, Sasuke thought as he put his arms up to block, but Lee's kick still landed, sending him backwards. Sasuke-kun. Sakura gasped. This is a bore, Naruto said as he began walking to the exit. Lee suddenly appeared in front of Naruto, stopping him. Please do not leave, Lee said. What reason do I have to stay? This fight isn't even amusing. Naruto said back. Then I will fight you instead, but if I beat you, that mean you stay, Lee said as he got back into a fighting stance. And if I win? Naruto asked. Then you can leave, Lee answered. Challenge accepted, Naruto said. Don't try it, Menma, you can't beat him with that small amount of chakra you have, Sasuke said. He struggled to his feet. So he really does only have that little amount of chakra, Lee thought. Don't worry, Menma-san, I will go easy on you, Lee said. This chakra thing is starting to piss me off already, Naruto thought with anger and frustration. Make your move, Naruto said as he put his arms at his sides and stood up straight up. As you wish then, Lee said and went for a right hook. Naruto grabbed his fist with his right hand and used his arm to launch him into the air. You're too slow. How did he? Lee thought and land to his feet. I have things to do, so let's finish this, Naruto said, dashing at Lee. He's too fast, I don't have time to dash. Lee's thoughts were interrupted as Naruto's right fist connected with his face, and hard, sending him flying. Once he slid to a halt, it is quickly noticed that he is out cold. That was pure luck, Sasuke thought. Menma-san is truly a strong person, Lee thought as he opened his eyes to see everyone left to catch up to Menma. I never used that jutsu on him yet, Lee thought with disappointment. At this rate I will never beat Neji. Later, Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura stood in front of Kakashi. I'm glad you came, Sakura, for your sake and the others. Did I miss something? Naruto asked himself. Now you can all register for the Chunin exam, said Kakashi. Why, what do you mean? Sakura asked. You see, only groups of 3 are allowed to apply for and take the exam, that's the way it's always been, Kakashi explained. But sensei, you said that the decision to take the exam was up to the individual, Sakura commented. Yeah, I did miss something, didn't I? Naruto continued to think to himself. That's right, I did, Kakashi said. Was that a lie? Sakura asked. Sort of, Kakashi said as he looked away. It is an individual decision but affects all of you. I didn't tell you before because I didn't want Sasuke and the Rain Ninja pressuring you. He explained as he looked at Naruto's headband. I don't remember seeing his headband before, he thought to himself. Naruto decided to keep his mouth shut for now. At the same time, I didn't want you feeling obliged to participate because of any feeling you might have for Sasuke. I wanted you to come to a decision of your own free will, Kakashi finished. Wait a minute, do you mean if they shown up but I decided to not come with them? It would have been the end of the line. If you didn't come along I would be able to let the others in, Kakashi said. But you're all here so it doesn't matter. Sakura, Sasuke, I'm proud of the both of you, he said and stepped to the side to show a door that was behind him. Good luck. The 3 walked up to the door and opened, then walked through with the door closing behind them. Gee, I guess we're not alone. I had no idea there would be so much competition, Sakura said as she noticing the large amount of genins. if being scary is one of the tests they got me beat. She thought with a gulp. Great job, you figured it out. Someone give her a prize, Naruto thought as he took a couple steps to the side and sat down leaning against a wall. Sasuke, where have you been? Asked a voice soon found out as Ino as she wrapped her arms around Sasuke's neck from behind, earning a scowl from Sasuke. Boy, you have no idea how much I was hoping you would show up here. I've missed those brooding good looks of yours, she finished. Ino is a fair-skinned girl of average height with blue eyes. Her most noticeable trait in her appearance is her long, pale blonde hair, which is in a high ponytail with bangs covering the right side of her face. Her hair reaches down to her waist. In terms of attire, Ino has a pair of small silver hoop earrings and purple, fairly revealing clothing. She wears a short purple vest-like blouse with a raised collar, a purple apron skirt that is cut off on the sides, and bandages on her stomach and legs. She also wears white elbow warmers with this, and her forehead protector around her waist as a belt. Hey you porker, back off, he's mine, said a pissed-off Sakura. Miss Forehead, they let you in here, still got those frown lines on your billboard brow I see, Ino said rudely. Those two haven't changed a bit. Pathetic, Naruto thought with sigh. Leave my forehead out of it, Sakura yelled. Ino simply used her finger to pull down her lower left eyelid and stuck her tongue out. Growling, Sakura growled with anger. Oh, it's you guys, said a voice soon noticed as Shikamaru. I knew this was going to be a drag, but I didn't know it was going to be this lame, he finished. Shikamaru has shoulder-length black hair tied in a spiky ponytail and narrow brown eyes. He wears a simple pair of silver hoop earrings. His attire is rather plain, consisting of a green-lined mesh t-shirt under a short-sleeved gray jacket with green edges, adorned on both the sleeves and the back with a circle with a line through it. His blue forehead protector worn around his left arm, brown pants, and blue sandals. Next to Shikamaru is Choji. Choji has spiky, brown hair, swirl marks on his cheeks, and is quite husky. He has black shorts, a long white scarf, a short-sleeved, green haori, over a light green shirt with his clan's obligatory kanji for food on it, small, hoop earrings, and his legs and forearms were wrapped in bandages. His forehead protector is styled in a manner that allowed two tufts of hair to poke out at each side. Well, what do you know, it looks like the whole gang's back together again. Well, besides one of us, Kiba said as he walked towards the group. Kiba has messy brown hair, sharp black eyes with vertical slit-like pupils, pronounced canine teeth, and nails that he can change into claws. He also has the distinctive red fang markings on his cheeks. His attire consisted of dark grayish pants reaching to his calves and a gray, hooded fur-lined coat, with the hood usually placed on his head, with a blue forehead protector and blue sandals. To Kiba's right is Hinata. Hinata has dark blue hair and fair skin. She also has white eyes with a tinge of lavender. Her hair was in a short, leveled Heimcut style just above her forehead, with chin-length strands framing her face. She wears a cream-colored hooded jacket with a fire symbol on the upper right and left sleeves and fur around the cuffs and hem, with navy blue pants along with her Konoha forehead protector around her neck. On the other side of Kiba is Shino. Shino is a fair-skinned ninja. He has dark, bushy, brown hair and dark, narrow eyes. Shino is sporting dark sunglasses and a sea-green jacket with a high, upturned collar. Doesn't that suck? Naruto commented towards Kiba. What do you mean by that? Kiba asked with a tick mark. I mean it's a shame that he died, ha ha ha. Naruto responded with a laugh. Then what do you find so funny? Kiba asked as he walked over to Naruto and grabbed him by the cloak, lifting him into the air. The fact that you seem to be saddened by Naruto Uzumaki's death, Naruto said with a straight face. It's pathetic that he was only noticed by his old classmates after he died, Naruto said. He was weak, unable to fight for himself, and had no one there for him, to which brought him closer to death. He would have committed suicide in the end anyway, Naruto said calmly. The Rookie 8 could only look at him in anger. You're so dead, they all thought. Hey you guys, a man said walking towards the group, you might want to try keeping it down a little. I mean no offenses, but you are the 8 rookies, right, fresh out of the academy. I wouldn't go making a spectacle of yourselves, just cool it, this isn't a class field trip, the man finished. Well, who asked you? Who are you? Ino asked. I'm Kabuto Yakushi, but really look around you, you've made quite an impression. The group looked around to notice that everyone around them are staring straight at them. Naruto got up and slowly walked past Kabuto, and noticing he reeked of snake. You should keep your distance from me unless you want your cover blown, snake fodder, Naruto whispered to the man as he walked past. Kabuto grinned and pulled out a large deck of cards, a member of the Akatsuki. Time skip, because I'm lazy. Pipe down and listen up, a man said from within the smoke. As the smoke cleared it revealed a man with scars on his face wearing a black trench coat along with multiple leaf shinobi behind him earn a look of disgust from Naruto. I hate being here, Naruto thought. I'm Ibiki Marino, your proctor and from this moment your worst enemy, he said. First, you candidates from the village hidden in the sound, Ibiki said pointing his finger towards the Nin, knock it off, who told you that you could fight? Do you want to be failed before we've even begun? He yelled. Sorry it's our first time, I guess we were a little jumpy sir, the masked one said. Humph, I will say this once so listen up, there will be no combat between candidates so no attacking each other without the permission of your proctor and even then the use of fatal force is strictly prohibited. Anyone who even thinks about messing with me will be disqualified immediately, he finished. No fatal force, that's no fun, the sound Nin with the headpiece said. Now if you're ready we'll proceed to the first stage of the Chunin exam. Hand over your paperwork, in turn you will be given a number, Ibiki said holding up the number 1, this will determine where you sit. We'll start the written test once you're all seated, he said. Wait, did he say written test? Naruto asked himself. Later, everyone sat at a wide desk with a piece of paper, 2 pencils and an eraser. This a load of horse shit, I was trained to fight not take a written test, Naruto thought trying to hold in his anger. Are you okay? You seem like something is bothering you, Hinata said to Naruto's right tapping her fingers together. He reminds me of Naruto, she thought holding back her tears. I'm fine I'm just a little worried, Naruto said back. I'm sure that you will be fine, Hinata finished. It seems she no longer stutters, Naruto thought. Thanks, he said earning a blush from her. Suddenly a tap sound could be heard in the front of the class, everyone eyes front. There are a few rules you need to be aware of and I won't answer any questions so you better pay attention the first time around, Ibiki said. No questions, what kind of rules are these? Sakura asked herself. Alright, rule number 1 is this. The first part of the exam is conducted on a point reduction system contrary to what some of you may be used to. You will all begin the test with a perfect score of 10 points. 1 point will be deducted for each answer you get wrong. So if you miss 3 your final score will be 7, Ibiki said. And if I miss 10 my final score will be 0 I am so fucked, Naruto thought. Rule number 2, teams will pass or fail based on the score of all 3 members, Ibiki said causing everyone to go into a state of shock. Wait a second you're saying we all get scored as a team? Sakura yelled. Silence, I have my reasons so put a cork in it and listen, Ibiki said. Reasons? Sakura asked herself. Rule number 3, the sentinels you see positioned around room are there to watch you carefully for any signs of cheating and for every incident they spot they will subtract 2 points from the culprit's score. Ibiki finished. Huh? Sakura gasped. Be warned their eyes are extremely sharp and if they catch you 5 times you will be dismissed before the tests are even scored, said Ibiki. Sheesh they make it so there are all sorts of ways to get you to lose points. Sakura thought to herself. Guess that means cheating is out of the question, Naruto thought. Anyone to be fool enough to be caught by the sentinels doesn't deserve to be here, Ibiki finished. I got my eye on you guys, one of the sentinels said causing some of Genin to gasp. If you want to be considered shinobi then show us what exceptional shinobi you can be, Ibiki said. Okay, relax I know I will do alright and Sasuke should be fine but I'm not sure about this rain ninja, Sakura thought. One more thing if any candidate should get a 0 and fail the test then the entire team fails, Ibiki finished with a dark look in his eyes. Everyone gasped. I was wondering when he was going to say that, a voice said within Naruto with a yawn. You've been listening? Naruto asked. Yes I have and watch out for this Ibiki he likes to play with the minds of others, the fox finished. Alright now I see what this is about, Naruto lied not understanding a word. The final question won't be given until after the 15 minutes of the test will have 1 hour total, begin. Ibiki finished. Everyone began the test. About 35 minutes into the test. So how should I fuck with Ibiki? Naruto asked himself. You're really worried about that when you haven't even answered any of the questions, the fox said with a sigh. It's not like I would know any of these questions, it's like they are meant for high-level shinobi, Naruto said to the demon. They are, but instead of being the class clown you should focus on the mission at hand, because of the fact that they want you to cheat. I guess I will give you the damn answers, the fox said. 15 minutes later. That's all of them, but one seems a lot of teams got nailed too, Naruto thought. Alright, listen up, here is the 10th and final question, Ibiki said. Man, this guy's full of himself, Sasuke thought. This is it, the last obstacle, Sakura thought to herself. But before I give you the last question, there are some more rules that you need to be aware of. Suddenly the door opened to reveal a boy with purple painting on face standing next to a sentinel. Huh? You're just in time. I hope you found your trip to the bathroom enlightening, Ibiki said. I seen through the crow's disguise, he's on to us, the face-painted boy thought. Well, take your seat, Ibiki said. As he walked past a blonde girl, he dropped a small piece of paper on her desk. He then took his seat not too far ahead of her. These rules are unique to question 10, listen carefully and try not to let them frighten you, Ibiki said with a dark look in his eyes. Rule number 1, you all have the choice to not be given the question. It's your decision, Ibiki said. Say what? We're free to choose. Sasuke thought in shock. Whoa. So what's the catch? Let's say we don't want to do it, what happens then? The blonde female asked. If you choose not to take the 10th question regardless of answers to the other 9, you'll get a 0, in other words you fail, and that of course means your teammates fail as well, Ibiki finished with a grin. Everyone began talking among themselves. Not so fast, you didn't let me finish, Ibiki said with his head down and his eyes closed. Sigh asterisk, more rules, enough already, Sakura thought in annoyance. If you do accept the question but answer it incorrectly, you will not only fail, you will be barred from taking the exams ever again. Ibiki finished. Naruto began freaking out. Kit, calm down, he is trying to get in your head, this man is known for that kind of thing, the fox said. Oh, I get it. No, Naruto said with a sigh of relief. Hey man, that's bull, what kind of rule is that? There are lots of people who have taken the test before, Kiba said, getting a bark from his dog and a chuckle from Ibiki. I guess you are just unlucky. I wasn't making the rules back then, but I am now. But of course if you don't want to take it you don't have to. If you're not feeling confident then by all means, skip it. You can come back and try again next year, Ibiki laughed. Thanks a lot. So if any of us decide to skip it then all 3 of us fail. Forget it, that's not going to happen. But on the other hand you only got one chance, screw up and it's over. Either way this sucks, it isn't no normal test, Sakura thought to herself. Now then, if you're ready, the 10th and final question. Those who don't want to take it raise your hand, your number will be recorded and then you're free to go, Ibiki said. Now that I know what he is up to, this whole high and mighty 10th question thing is stupid, Naruto thought with a long sigh as he crossed his arms and slouched down in his chair. Well, I know I'm okay, no way I'm chickening out, I'm not raising my hand though. The Rain Ninja Menma seems quite confident for some reason, thought Sakura. Suddenly a lot of the candidates began quitting. Once it ceased, Ibiki walked up to Naruto. What about you, Chakra boy, are you going to quit? Ibiki asked. Why would I? All you're doing is trying to get in our heads. The NIN questions were meant for you to use your information gathering skills, sort of like spy work. I'm also guessing that you got those scars from trying to get information, and there is no 10th question, it's only another test to see if you believe in yourself. So no, I don't plan on quitting, Naruto said as he held in his anger, and again with the chakra thing. Look at this loser trying to act all cool, I bet he is wrong on everything but the first part, Sasuke thought with a grin. I'm impressed that you are able to figure every bit of that out and to be correct about all of it in the processes. You saved me the trouble of explaining everything in the end, Ibiki said as he clapped his hands together in applause. Sasuke's grin dropped when heard what Ibiki said. How could he? With that being said, only 78 remain, Ibiki thought with a grin and walked back to the front of the classroom. Then I guess there is only one thing left to say, you all passed the first part of the exam, Ibiki finished. This brat sure is something, Kiba thought to himself. Suddenly a large ball busted through the window. As it unraveled it revealed a girl, and behind her is what was wrapped around her but in is stretched out. Jumping the gun as usual, Ibiki thought as he paled. Heads up boys and girls, this is no time to be celebrating. I'll be your next proctor, Anko Mitarashi. You ready for the second test? Good. Follow me, let's go, Anko said as she thrusting her right fist in the air. You're early again, Ibiki said, popping his head out from behind her. Anko paled. Anko has light brown, pupil-less eyes, and violet hair, which is styled in a short, spiky, fan ponytail. She is wearing a tan overcoat with a purple inseam, which has a pocket on both sides, and complete with a fitted mesh body suit that stretches from her neck down to her thighs. She has a dark orange miniskirt, as well as a forehead protector, a small pendant that looks like a snake fang on a thick cord, a wrist watch, and pale gray shin guards. She is also wearing a dark blue belt around her waist that connects to her skirt that has an appendage-like sash, the cursed seal of heaven, hidden at the back of her neck on the left side. Great, another nutcase. She reminds me of Naruto, Sakura thought. How many are there? Ibiki, you let all these guys pass. Your test was too easy, you must be getting soft, Anko said. Or it could be a stronger crop of candidates the year, Ibiki said back. They sure don't look it, trust me, once I'm done with them, more than half will be eliminated, Anko said. More than half, really? Sakura asked. This is going to be fun. Alright, you guys have had it easy so far, but things are going to be different first thing in the morning. I will let your squad leaders let you know where to meet me. Dismissed. Anko finished with a seductive tone in her voice. Later that night, Naruto followed Konan to a rather large hotel. What are we doing here? Naruto asked. Well, this is where we will be staying, Konan answered with a smile. The people who own this place hate my guts, Naruto said as he looked down at the ground. Well, you don't have to worry about that now, do you? Konan said, resting her hand on his shoulder. The two walked into the hotel. Welcome back, Konan-sama, and is this the other one you were talking about? Asked a woman with dark green hair tied up in a ponytail that reaches down to her knees, wearing a black and white maid's outfit, standing next to the elevator. Yes, this is Menma, Konan said back. Naruto looked around the large lobby in awe. He seems to have never been to a place like this, the woman said with a small giggle. I don't think he has, Konan said slowly as she looked over at him. Your room number is 386, you can find it on the 5th floor, just go left once you leave the elevator and it should be on the right side of the hallway, the woman said, handing Konan a small key. Thank you, Konan said, grabbing Naruto by the hand, pulling him out of his trance and dragged him into the now open elevator. The two stood in the elevator. Naruto looked at Konan's hand as it held on to his own. Kid, do you really love her, or do you love her for her body? The fox asked. What do you mean? I mean, do you really love her for who she is? I love her with all my heart, if that's what you are trying to say, Naruto said with a blush from admitting it so easily. Then ask her to marry you, the beast said. Naruto's whole face turned red. Marry her, Naruto stuttered. Yes, marry her, the fox said slowly. Would she say yes? Naruto asked. There is only one way to find out, the fox said with a grin, but it dropped, noticing Naruto is about to ask her. Whoa, slow down there, Skippy. You need to make it special, the fox finished. So I should wait and plan this out? Naruto asked. Yes. The elevator doors opened, bringing Naruto out of his conversation with the beast. Konan began walking out of the elevator with her left hand entwined with his right. 386, 386. 386, here it is, she said, then put the key into the doorknob. Twisting it, she could hear a loud click signifying that it unlocked. Opening the door, Naruto's jaw dropped. A large crystal-like chandelier could be seen hanging from the ceiling, a large white bed with white pillows complete with jet black blankets that looks like it could fit 3 to 4 people. Backed up against very back wall with a black end table and a blue oil lamp on both sides of the bed, with a long thin window behind them reaching from the floor to the ceiling, along with white painted walls. This is one hell of a room, Konan said as she flopped on the massive bed. Naruto simply laid down next to her. The bed, this bed is beyond comfortable too, Naruto said aloud. I'll agree with you on that one, Konan said as she unzipped her cloak but did not remove it. By the way, Nagato wants you to find a single partner for you team in the Akatsuki, she said. Fine, I guess I could look around. So where will I be tomorrow? Naruto asked. From what the instructor told me, you will be in the Forest of Death, Konan said. Sounds fun, Naruto said as he rolled onto Konan, placing his head on her chest and his arms wrapped her. Konan pulled the blanket over the two, bringing it up to her neck. Now I'm even more comfortable, Konan said, closing her eyes ready to fall asleep. Just being near you makes me comfortable, Naruto said as he drifted off to sleep. Konan fell asleep herself with a blush glued to her face. The next morning. That's quite the fence you got there, Naruto said with crossed arms. This here is the 44 battle training zone. but we call it the Forest of Death. This place will be the location of the second exam, Anko said with a grin. Man, this place totally creeps me out, Sakura said as she shivered in fear. It should, Anko said. Sounds like pretty lame if you ask me. I'll burn the trees to the ground if I see fit, Naruto said. Looks like we got ourselves a tough guy, Anko said and threw a kunai. Humph, too easy, Naruto thought, pushing an unnoticeable amount of chakra outward, causing the kunai to drop to the floor once it got close enough. What kind of defense mechanism was that? Anko asked herself as everyone looked at Naruto in shock. Could he have an ability like Gaara does? The blonde sound ninja asked herself. This is gonna be fun, Anko said. Anko walked to the front of the candidates. Now before we begin I have something to hand out to you all, she said as she pulled out a stack of paper with writing on it. Don't worry, they are just standard consent forms. Before the test you are going to have to read over them and then sign it. What for? Naruto asked with his arms still crossed. Some of you may not come back from this test and I have to get your consent for that risk, otherwise it would be my responsibility. Ha 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 ha, Anko laughed. Now I will explain the rules of this exam. Here, pass these out, Anko said, handing the stack of consent forms to Naruto. The first rule is that you should know that this test attacks every one of your survival skills, Anko said as Naruto handed out the papers. Survival, what a drag, Shikamaru thought with a yawn. First I will give you all a description of the terrain on the practice field. The training ground consists of 44 locked entrance gates. There are rivers and a forest inside along with a locked tower in the middle. It's in this confined area that you will undergo the survival test. The test consists of an anything-goes battle to get your hands on these scrolls, Anko said, holding up 2 scrolls. Both of them? Sasuke asked. Yes, you will be fighting to get both a Heaven Scroll and an Earth Scroll, altogether 26 teams taking part in this test. So one half of those teams will be going for the Heaven Scroll and the other will be going for the Earth Scroll. I will be handing over one kind of scroll to each team, Anko finished. Okay, so how do we pass the test? Sasuke asked. Your team must bring both a Heaven Scroll and a Earth Scroll to the tower, Anko said. That means that the very best half of us will fail, Sakura said. Congratulations, you figured it out, Naruto said as he rolled his eyes. This little brat, Sakura thought, shaking her fist. Oh, and one more thing, the test has a time limit. You must finish before 5 days, Anko said. 5 days out there? Ino yelled. What are we supposed to do for food? Choji asked. Just look around, the forest is full of thing to eat. There is plenty to feed all of you, Anko said. Yeah, but that's not all there are plenty of. There are man-eating beast and poisonous plants in there, Kabuto said. Ah man, Choji whined. Quite down, this is why they call it survival, you know, Ino said. That means with these circumstances there's no way half the teams will pass the test, said Niji. With the days getting longer and the nights getting shorter, so we will have less time to sleep and less time to recover. It is a challenge indeed. Lee commented. Completely surrounded by enemies, there won't be time to rest. We will have to keep a constant watch, Sasuke said plainly. Right, this test also measures endurance behind enemy lines. This is designed to be a hard test and I'm sure some of you won't be up to the challenge, Anko said with a grin. So let's say we are in the exam, can we quit? A random candidate asked. Of course not, in the middle of a battle you can't just sorry I quit. Well, I guess you could, but it would probably get you killed, Anko said with a laugh. Oh, just great, this is gonna be a drag. There are also ways you could get disqualified. The first is simple. If all 3 members can't make it to the tower with both scrolls after 5 days. Number 2. If a team loses a member or a member becomes incapacitated and cannot continue. But most important, number 3. None of you, absolutely none of you, may look at the contents of the scrolls until you've reached the tower, Anko explained. Okay, we're done. Each team take you consent forms and exchange them over there for your scrolls, she said, pointing to a stand with 3 people standing inside. After that each team pick a gate and you will be let inside, she finished. Anko sighed. Oh, and I just have one more word of advice, just don't die. Later with Sasuke. Sasuke sat against a rock and watched a team enter the stand and have a large red curtain block his sight. I see how it is. We won't know which team has which scroll and we won't know who's carrying it. Stealing information is really a matter of life and death. It's just like Ibiki said, everyone is equally determined to pass and all of them are my enemies, Sasuke thought to himself. Looks like they are starting to understand what is truly involved with this test, Anko thought to herself. With Sakura, well, if it isn't the little future failure, what's up billboard brow? I thought you would have washed out of the program by now. Your big forehead alone should have gotten you tossed, Ino said, walking up to Sakura. So sad you're jealous that I'm spending 5 days alone with Sasuke and it clearly turning you into someone petty and ugly, and you were already ugly, Sakura laughed. Suddenly the two started yelling at each other, leaving Shikamaru and Choji in the background. I'm glad they didn't turn on us. Why are they like that with each other? Choji asked. Who cares? It's not like I have the time to be worrying about that stuff, Shikamaru said back. With Naruto. As Naruto walked reading the consent form, he noticed Hinata leaning against a tree as she read the consent form herself. What are you doing all the way out here? Naruto asked, hiding most of his face in the collar of his cloak. Oh, just nothing, Hinata stuttered. Why do I stutter around this boy? I only stuttered when I was around Naruto, she thought to herself. Now that I think about it, she only acted like this around me. Naruto thought to himself. Can I ask you something? He asked. Yes, sure, Hinata stuttered. What did you think about Naruto? He asked. Well, he was Hinata had a hard time talking as his face turned bright red. Naruto soon realized what this all meant. You loved him, didn't he said, and she answered his question when she looked down at the floor. May I ask why you hate Naruto? She asked. I don't, he was actually a very close friend, Naruto said. His answer only further confused her because of all the things he said about Naruto. Walking past her, he placed his left hand on her left shoulder and used his and the Kyuubi's chakra to place an unnoticeable seal on her shoulder. Well, it was nice talking to you, Hinata, he said, and began walking away. Same to you, Menma-san, Hinata said, watching him walk away. Hey Kit, what was the seal for? The fox asked. It's a seal, I leaned. It makes it so that the one with the seal sees visions, and I will also have the ability to see what she is seeing, Naruto said to the beast. What kind of visions? The beast asked. A ghost of me when I used to live in this village. I will use it to help her, though the ghost is my puppet. She was the only one who treated me like I was someone, even if it was in her own way, Naruto explained. Ah, I see, it's a way of saying thank you, not a bad jutsu either, but why did you use my chakra too? The beast asked. So that it would still work in extreme distances, he answered. I never thought I would say this, but you just made your own jutsu, the beast said slowly. Wait, someone hasn't made this before me? Naruto asked in shock. Nope, the beast sighed. Awesome. At the scroll stand. Alright everyone, we are going to start handing out scrolls, a man inside the scroll stand said. Later, after Ever got their scrolls. Listen up, all the teams have received their scrolls, so go to your gate and wait there. Once the gates open, the test is on. Enko yelled. Gate 16. Yahoo, we rock at survival. There is no way we can lose. Hinata, you'd better be strong for this, Kiba said. Right, she responded. Suddenly a ghostly figure of Naruto walked past Hinata, causing her to gasp. Naruto's ghost? She asked herself. She looked over to Shino and Kiba but didn't notice any signs of them seeing Naruto too. Am I the only one seeing him? She thought, looking back at the see-through figure of Naruto standing on the other side of the gate, who looked straight at her as he faded into thin air. Will I see him again? She asked herself. Gate 12. Let's get this over with, Naruto said with his arms crossed. Suddenly the doors snapped open. Let's go, Sasuke said, and they dashed into the forest. Back with Hinata. Alright, the first thing we gotta do is find someone. You ready, Hinata? Kiba asked. Yes, Hinata said as she activated her Byakugan, and she noticed the ghostly figure of Naruto at a very far distance gesturing her his way. This way, she said, and the group rushed off. Once they made it to his location, Naruto gestured to make a trap using some wire in his hand. We should make a trap, Hinata said. Later with Naruto. Suddenly a loud scream could be heard. That sounded like someone screaming, Sakura said. I knew that a trap would work, though I never expected leeches to help, Naruto thought. I do not like this place, Sakura whined. I'll be right back, I gotta know, Naruto said as he walked off into the forest. At least he has manners, Sakura thought. Not too much longer. Naruto came back scratching his head. Haha, I'm back, he said. Sasuke noticed something off about him though. This Menma's eyes are green. Sasuke thought as dashed up and kicked him the fake Naruto in the gut, sending him flying into a tree. Sasuke, what are you doing? Sakura asked. Yeah, what are you doing? The fake asked. Sasuke went to kick the fake, but he dodged, causing his foot to miss and hit the tree. He then went for a punch and the fake dodged again by jumping onto a tree branch, but Sasuke followed him and kicked him off, causing the fake to fall to the ground with a thud and a cloud of dirt. Have you lost your mind? The fake asked. Yeah, you wish, I just struck before you could, Sasuke said and dashed at the fake with a kunai in his hand. Alright then, bring it on, the fake said as he blocked the kunai with his own. He then went for a jab, but the fake jumped back. Sasuke, what are you doing? Sakura asked. Take a close look at him, Sasuke said. Talk, what have you done with the real Menma? Asked Sasuke. What? What do you mean, I am the real Menma, the fake said. Then you must not have noticed that his eyes are green. The real Menma's eyes are blue. It's not much to go by, but it's accurate, Sasuke said. Tell me who you are, he ordered. A cloud of smoke revealed a man from the Rain Village. Alright, you got me. So what? I'm still going to take your scroll. Now hand it over or else. So which one of you has it? The Rain Nin asked but didn't get an answer. Fine then, I guess I will have to take you both out. The Rain Nin said and dashed at the two. Sasuke jumped up in the air and flipped through a couple hand signs, Phoenix Flower Jutsu. Sasuke thought, launching the fire jutsu at the Rain Nin. The Rain Nin jumped to evade it and the two clashed with a kunai in the air, then dashed away from each other, but the Rain Nin seemed to flee away only to have Sasuke chase after him. What the hell did this guy do with Menma? Sasuke thought as he landed on a tree branch. The Rain Nin turned around and threw a couple of kunai at him, to which he dodged by flipping under the tree branch only to hear a sizzling sound come from one of the kunai. A paper bomb? Sasuke asked as he tried to get back, but it exploded before he could. As landed onto one knee on the ground, the Rain Nin suddenly appeared behind him with a kunai in his hand. Sorry, this is one exam you're not going to pass. Now hand over the scroll or you die, the Rain said. I don't think he is going to be giving you anything, you yellow turd, Naruto said as he appeared to the left of the two, grabbing the Rain Nin by the neck and throwing him into the air. I thought I tied you to a tree, the Rain Nin said. That rope you used was about as strong as heated butter, Naruto said back with a laugh. You must be really stupid or our village needs to get us better rope. Would have to say both though. I have to think fast, Sasuke thought as he threw a kunai of his own at the Rain Nin in the air. As the Rain Ninja dodged the kunai, Sasuke used the distraction to stab a kunai into the boy. Are you alright? Sakura asked. Don't just stand there, Sakura, chances are that this guy is not alone. Watch out, the others could strike any second now, Sasuke said, and the Rain Nin pushed him away. I wish I came alone so that I wouldn't arouse suspicion. Big mistake, the Rain Nin said as he grabbed his stab wound and retreated off into the forest. So much for him, Naruto said with a sigh. For now, Sasuke said. Later. That all just proved that we can't just trust appearances. We have to come up with a way of knowing that each of us is who we say we are and not some imposter using a transformation jutsu, Sasuke said as the three are sitting down. Alright, so what do we do? Sakura asked, noticing that Naruto has begun writing down something on a small slip of paper. We can do a password, Naruto said as he handed Sasuke the paper. And that said password will be to bring peace to the world, he finished. The whole time he is thinking about Nagato's dreams of the future. Why does he get to choose? Sasuke thought, but when he looked at the paper it said something else. Why does it say to stop all wars when he said it? Oh, that's the plan, I guess I'm in too. It's not a bad idea after all, he thought as he handed the paper to Sakura, who soon understood the plan. Elsewhere. Nagato sat in a small chair in front of a man in a black cloak and a strange orange mask. I see that you have been straying from the plan, the man said. What do you mean, Uchiha? Nagato asked. The plan is to capture the tailed beasts, not have them join the Akatsuki, the man now known to be from the Uchiha clan said. As far as I see it, I am going with the plan. If we have Naruto, we can use the 9 tails to stop all future wars with a little bit effort and elbow grease, Nagato said back as he crossed his arms. Well, that was not what you were told to do now, is it? The Uchiha said as she suddenly placed a jutsu on Nagato. Because of the fact that Naruto is now in the Akatsuki, we will be using that to our advantage. He will be used to capture the other tailed beasts, and once that is done the 9 tails will be removed from him by any means necessary. I will do it myself if I have to," he finished and disappeared in a swirl. "As you wish," Nagato said plainly as if he had been brainwashed. Later, Nagato sat in his chair as he watched paper begin to form into a female figure. "Ah, Conan, I see you sent a paper clone to me," Nagato said with a slight smile. "Have you come to tell me how Naruto is doing?" He asked. "Hi, he has passed the first part of the exams and he is now in the second, but I'm afraid ever since the chakra seal was applied to his body I could see a look in his eye that causes me to shiver," Conan said as the paper finished forming into her. "It because of the chakra seal that was placed on him eats away at over 95% of his chakra, causing the 9 tails chakra to replace the lost chakra. If removes the seal I have no clue what will happen. So keep an eye on him. We don't need him going into a tailed rampage from all the beasts. Churka, intervene if you have to," Nagato said as he slowly closed his eyes with a long sigh. "I understand," the clone said as it prepared to disperse. "One more thing, Conan, try not to get too attached to Naruto. We will still have to remove the Kyuubi from him sooner or later," Nagato said plainly. "But he will die if we do that is a sacrifice we will have to make, Conan." Nagato yelled, cutting her off. "If it mean that we will achieve peace, then his death will not be in vain, and I recommended we keep this between us. We don't want to make matters worse," he finished. I understand," Conan said as she dropped her head and let a few tears escape from her eyes, then dispersed. In a shadowed corner of the room the masked man could be slightly seen. HMPF. "Now that she is out of the way, the only problem I have left is Naruto. And if he does not go by what is ordered he will be forced to. I will get what I want," the man thought with a laugh. "Back with Naruto and the group. Alright, I hope you remember the password because I don't plan on saying it again," Naruto said as he pulled out a match, lighting the small piece of paper on fire. "Alright then, I'll hold on to the scroll," Sasuke said as he stood to his feet. "Fine by me," Naruto said, rolling his eyes and earning a glare from Sakura. Suddenly something came flying at Naruto and scraped his cheek, causing blood to be drawn, but Naruto didn't even flinch. Looking to his right he could see a large gust of wind coming their way. "He's here," he thought as he grinned. "What is it now?" Sasuke asked as the wind hit them. Once it died down, Sasuke quickly hid inside of a bush with a kunai in his right hand. Suddenly Naruto and Sakura appeared behind him. "Stop right there, you two. What is the password?" Sasuke asked. "Oh, it's to bring peace to the world," Naruto said. "It's to stop all wars," Sakura said next. Sasuke grinned and threw the kunai at Naruto on for him to sidestep. "And what was that about? She was the one that got it wrong," Naruto said, pointing at Sakura. "Because she was the one that got it right and you didn't," Sasuke said. "HMPF, I get what that paper was for now." The fake Naruto said as a large cloud of smoke appeared. "It contained the real password, didn't it, boy?" The person finished as the smoke cleared, revealing an odd-looking grass ninja. "Well, now that we know it wasn't the real Menma, I wonder where he really is and if he is okay," Sakura thought to herself. With Naruto. Naruto laid in an odd upside-down position against a tree with what appears to be lines of smoke rising off of his body. "I don't think taking that head-on was such a good idea now," Naruto said to himself as he lazily rolled to his feet. Where did they go?" Naruto asked himself and tuned around to see a massive snake getting ready to swallow him whole. "Orochimaru, things are about to get real fun now," he said with a sadistic grin. Back with Sasuke, Sakura and the grass ninja. The girl pulled an earth scroll from her back pocket which earned Sasuke's attention. "Ah, you'd love to get your hands on my earth scroll, wouldn't you? It would go so nicely with your heaven scroll," the strange ninja said as she wrapped her long tongue around the scroll and swallowed it, causing a gasp from Sakura. "Now when this is over, one of us will have both scrolls and the other will be dead," she finished, pulling her lower left eyelid down. Sakura and Sasuke both gasped as they could suddenly see their own deaths and they both fell to their knees. "Is this an illusion?" Sasuke thought to himself and fell further as he puked on the floor. "No, it's more than that. Her thirst for blood is almost looking in her eyes. I seen the moment of my own death. Who is she? What is she?" he thought and looked over to Sakura. Sakura," Sasuke said as he noticed her shivering in fear. "No use, she's hot at worse than me. We've got to get out of here. Away from her, she's death," he thought with a shiver as he looked over at her. With Naruto again. I think I have been in this damn snake long enough, Naruto said as he pushed his chakra outward, causing the snake to explode, decorating the trees around it in its own blood. Naruto quickly wiped himself off and walked towards the largest chakra he could feel in the area. Orochimaru must have the biggest chakra considering he is a Sannin. All I have to do is follow that and I'm all good to go. Back with the others again. Ha ha ha. You're paralyzed with fear, the woman said. What's going on? Come on, move, move Sasuke, move. Sasuke thought as he struggled to make himself move but managed to grab a kunai and stand to his feet. Even if it's a little I have to move, he thought. Very good, now what happens? The woman said with a grin, causing Sasuke to gasp. It's no use, I can't move, Sasuke thought as the grass ninja began walking towards him. Don't worry, I'll make it quick, she said, pulling out 2 kunais in her left hand. But I don't have to tell you that, do I? You've seen it with your own eyes. I expected you to be more of a challenge. How disappointing, she finished and threw the kunais at their heads, but Sasuke brought his own kunai down on thigh and managed to escape with Sakura with his Sharingan activated. So that's how it is, the woman said aloud with a grin, a desperate move but a clever one. He overcame the fear with pain, so this prey is not so helpless after all, she thought, licking her upper lip. With Sasuke and Sakura, the two sat on a tree branch as Sasuke pulled the kunai out of his right thigh. Sasuke, that wound is deep, will you be alright? Sakura asked, only to have his hand placed over her mouth to stop her from talking. Gotta move, got to get away from her, but how, where? Sasuke asked himself. Man, I've never seen Sasuke like this, he's got me scared, Sakura thought with worry. Suddenly she noticed a massive snake to her right and tried to get Sasuke's attention by moving his hand away. Sasuke, look out. He too looked over to see the massive snake as it tried to bite down on the two, only to chomp on the tree as the two dashed away. Unbelievable, I didn't even notice, I must be losing it, he said as the snake slithered up a tree trunk and launched itself at him. Aggh. No, stay away. He yelled, throwing a shuriken at the snake, killing it. He landed on a tree branch as he tried to catch his breath. Sasuke and Sakura both gasped as the grass ninja began to reveal herself, coming out to the snake back first with her head down. I sense your fear and desperation, it's only natural, the prey must never let down its guard, not even for a moment, in the presence of its predator. She finished, looking towards Sasuke, licking her lips with a laugh, and began quickly slithering up a tree trunk, causing Sakura to gasp. Sasuke let out a yell as she quickly slithered towards him, but a couple of kunai and shuriken that was thrown into the tree stopped her in her tracks. Sakura looked to her left to see where it came from and gasped when she seen who it is. Looks like I came just in time, Naruto said with crossed arms as he sat on a tree branch facing away from the group with his back against the trunk and his right foot hanging of the branch and his other leg bent in a 90-degree angle and his foot planted firmly on the branch. Who might this be? The grass ninja asked. Do I have to waste time and tell you what the password is, cause it looks like we have something else on our hands? Naruto said, turning his head over to the grass ninja with the collar of his cloak covering his face up to the bridge of his nose, but under is a crazed grin. But what the woman noticed is that his eyes seemed to be changing. Menma, get out of here. What are you thinking? You don't know what you're up against. You don't stand a chance against her. Hurry, get out of here while you still can. Sasuke yelled. So Menma, you managed to escape from my friend, well done, the woman said with a grin, but it dropped and her face began to show slight fear when she looked over at him, an Akatsuki. She thought as her eyes widened in fear. Oh, but I do know what I'm up against, in fact so does Snake Breath, Naruto said, still sitting in the same position with his head turned towards them and a hidden sadistic grin. No, calm down, his chakra is too small, he probably just joined their organization. Though his chakra is too small, why would they take someone like this in? The grass ninja thought to herself. He doesn't get it, he doesn't know what he's dealing with. What do I do? Sasuke asked himself. Alright, you better slither back on into your whole snake breath before I make a nice snakeskin cloak out of ya, Naruto said as he stood to his feet. Huh? Little idiot, he's just going to get all three of us killed. I've got to do something, but what? Sasuke asked himself as he clenched his fist. Sasuke, Sakura thought, looking at him as if he is about to disappear. It's no use, there's only one way, Sasuke thought, deactivating his Sharingan. You can have it, Sasuke said. The grass ninja looked over to Sasuke. Naruto rose an eyebrow knowing and dropped his psychotic grin knowing what Sasuke is trying to do. Sasuke pulled out the scroll with his right hand and held it out towards the grass ninja. The scroll, right? That's what you want? Alright then, take it and leave us in peace. Huh, what happened to the high and mighty Uchiha? Did you lose your fire? Naruto said. Shut up and stay out of it, Sasuke said back. Very wise, what a smart move, the grass ninja said as she slightly raised her body and placed her left hand on her hip. Take it, Sasuke said and threw the heaven scroll towards the grass ninja. Naruto dashed at the grass ninja as she prepared to catch it, but he landed a devastating punch to the side of her face, causing a small shockwave sending her sideways and smashing into a tree. Naruto took hold of the scroll and looked towards Sasuke. He was so fast I didn't even see him move. He even made a shock wave with that punch. Maybe he is stronger than I thought, the grass ninja said, rubbing the side of her face. Stop trying to be a hero, Sasuke yelled, but Naruto appeared, smashing his right fist into the left side of his face, causing to be sent to a different tree branch. You fool! Sasuke yelled. How do we know that you're the Sasuke you say you are? The Sasuke I heard about would never just cave in like this, Naruto said, looking at the Uchiha. What sort of nonsense is this? Sasuke asked as Naruto put the scroll in his side pocket under the cloak. Sad but true, the grass ninja said as she jumped back to the same tree branch. It doesn't matter, she said, pulling up her left sleeve revealing a seal. As far as the scroll goes, I could simply kill you and take it, she said, biting down on her right thumb and sliding the blood on the seal. Go for it, I want to take you down for the Akatsuki, but I don't want it to be easy, Naruto said, turning around, showing his back to her, and used his thumbs to point at his back. Leave a nice big scar on my back for me to remember this by, Naruto said as a psychotic grin grew onto his face and his hair turned red along with slits. Is this kid a psychopath? Everyone but Naruto asked as Naruto tuned his head to the left and tilted it as he used the corner of his left eye to look at the grass ninja. Has Haiden rubbed off on him? The grass ninja thought, summoning jutsu. She said, and with a gust of wind a massive snake appeared with the grass ninja standing on its head. I wonder if I could do something like that with the 9 tails, Naruto thought to himself as he turned back around facing the massive reptile. The massive snake raised its upper body and smashed itself on Naruto, causing large cloud of dust, but Naruto managed to jump back to avoid being crushed. Menma! Sasuke and Sakura both yelled. If you want a scar, I will be more than obliged to help you with that, the grass ninja said with a loud laugh. Elsewhere, 3 Chunin and Enko stood looking at 3 dead bodies that seemed to be missing their faces. Orochimaru. What is he doing at the Chunin exams? Enko asked herself and dashed off towards the forest of death. This isn't good, she thought. Back with Naruto and the others. What a tasty little meal you will make for him. Careful, he likes to play with his food, the grass ninja said with a grin. The snake quickly used its tail to smash Naruto into a tree. Closing his eyes, he began falling toward the snake's mouth. No more playing around, time to finish him off, the grass ninja said. Oh yeah, then eat this, Naruto said, smashing his fist on the snake's head, causing a massive shock wave. That chakra, it couldn't be, but it's Jinchuriki died, Orochimaru thought as his eyes widened. Kit, you shouldn't be using my chakra, it will eat away at your chakra and this damned seal that the Akatsuki put on you, the 9 tails said with a sigh. Naruto didn't listen to what the beast said, quickly launched himself at the grass ninja. I'm going to crush you and that snake of yours, Naruto said as an army of Narutos suddenly appeared around the grass ninja. So many clones, but now he has barely any chakra left at all, Sasuke thought. Where did Menma get all this power? Sakura asked herself. Rahahahaha. Come to me, one of the Narutos said with a crazed and sadistic laugh as 3 of them grabbed hold of the snake's tail as the other gave the snake a beat down. This boy, the grass ninja thought as the real Naruto went for a side kick, is impressive. Orochimaru thought, ducking from the kick, and quickly grabbed hold of his leg and launched him downward, snapping a couple of branches on the way down until he smashed into a thicker branch, causing all the clones to disappear in a large cloud of white smoke. Now then, let's see how well you do, Sasuke, the grass ninja said, and the snake dashed towards him. Sasuke only stood in a state of shock. Sasuke, Sakura yelled with fear as she noticed he isn't moving. At the very last second Naruto appeared in the middle of the two using his right foot to stop the massive snake in its tracks, causing the grass ninja to add churka to her feet to avoid flying forward. The damn child is getting on my nerves, the grass ninja thought, gritting her teeth as the upper left side of lip raised in anger. Naruto's head slowly turned to the left to face Sasuke as he put left hand on hip. Do I really have to do all the work around here? Naruto said with a crazed look in his eye. Hell, it looks to me like Naruto would have done a better job than you right now, he finished with a psychotic laugh. Sasuke simply bared his teeth. Suddenly the grass ninja's tongue wrapped around Naruto and left pulled him up to her. You shouldn't be wrapping your tongue around things that you don't know where they have been, Naruto said plainly as the grass ninja pulled down the front of his collar to the point that he could see his entire face, but the two behind Naruto couldn't. So the nine-tailed brat didn't die to his fellow shinobi after all. Interesting, the grass ninja thought as she used her tongue to move the lower half of his cloak to the side and pulled an orange t-shirt up to the point that a seal on his stomach could be clearly seen by her. I stand correct, so he joined the Akatsuki after the attack. Not a bad choice, she thought as her right hand's fingertips began glowing purple. Five-pronged seal, she thought, and slammed her hand against his seal. Naruto's eyes reverted back to normal just seconds before he passed out. The woman then grabbed the scroll from under his cloak and threw him down toward the forest floor. He won't survive that fall, hang on Menma, she thought, and quickly threw a kunai which pinned him to a tree by his cloak. That could have ended bad, she thought, and looked over to Sasuke. With Naruto. Naruto stood on top of the Nine-Tails' head next to Konan as they held each other's hand and what he thought to be a massive army behind him, but what caught his eye is the massive beast with 10 tails that stood in front of him. The massive beast is a brown creature of titanic size. One of its hands is bigger than the 9 tails that Naruto is standing on. Its single eye, which takes up most of its head, has what appeared to Naruto as the Sharingan and Rinnegan mixed together. It possesses a grotesque bulb-like body with spiky protrusions growing out of its back shaped as a shell and a wide, cavernous mouth with multiple rows of sharp, pointed teeth, as well as a spiked chin. It has long arms and clawed hands, but from Naruto's view he could not tell if it has hind legs. It also had dark veins similar to those of a plant all over its body, and the endings of its tails resembled leaf buds. The beast's right hand began to fall in a downward swing, but just as its hand was about to smash them, Naruto squinted his eyes and opened the back up with a gasp for air. But he no longer seen the beast, instead he could only see what looks the bottom of a tree. Was that a dream? What the hell was that thing? Naruto thought to himself. I'm not sure if you should call that a dream. It seemed too real for it to be some kind of dream, considering the fact that that beast was the Jubi. You have never seen it before, so it shouldn't appear in a dream so perfectly clear. I would say it was a vision of some sort, the Kyubi said with an extended sigh. What is the Jubi? Naruto asked. That would take way too long to explain in a way you would understand, plus you have other things to worry about. The beast responded, causing Naruto to look to his right, realizing he is on the floor with Sasuke lying unconscious next to him, and over him he could see a woman grabbing hold of Sakura's hair. One more thing. I was able to remove that 5-pronged seal that Petomaru placed on you, so it should not be a problem, the beast finished as Naruto noticed that Sakura is crying. As Naruto seen her, did she look at my face while I was out? Naruto asked the beast. No, she was too busy with her attention on Sasuke. Then this morning these assholes showed up, the beast replied, earning a sigh of relief from Naruto as he watched Sakura continue to cry. What's wrong, girl? The black-haired woman said, giving Sakura's hair a tug. Naruto. Sakura whispered, causing Naruto's eyes to widen due to hearing it. The last thing I said to Naruto was some very hurtful thing that I regret saying, she said, causing Naruto to raise an eyebrow. I'm not about to let another one of my teammates die with a horrible final memory of me. She finished by pulling out a kunai and used it to cut her hair, causing the girl to lose grip and be left with only cut hair in her hand. Humph. At least she cares, though it's too late now, Naruto thought. Sakura stood to her feet as her headband fell to the floor along with the falling strands of pink hair. Kin, finish her. A black-haired boy said. No problem, the woman now known as Kin said, throwing Senbon at Sakura as she flipped through a couple of hand signs. Once the Senbon struck its target, Sakura got replaced with a log and another Sakura appeared heading for the black-haired boy as she threw shuriken at him and began flipping through the same hand signs. "Thanks for the shuriken, hope you don't mind if I give them back," the boy said, blasting wind from the odd holes in the palms causing the shuriken to fly back at Sakura, but she turned into a log and this time appeared above the boy flipping through the same hand signs. "This game won't work on me," he said, throw kunai up at her, but she took the blow instead of turning into a log. "Now where did you go?" the boy asked as he began looking around, then looked back up when he felt blood fall on his face. "What, she's the real one?" he asked as before fell on top of him, stabbing a kunai into his right forearm. She then used her mouth to bite down on his left forearm, earning a gasp from the others. She didn't do very bad until she decided to bite the guy, Naruto thought as he paled. "What the hell, are you some kind of moron? Get off of me," the boy said, smashing his fist on the top of her head over and over again, trying to get her to let go. "Will somebody get this crazy girl off of me?" he said, continuing to smash his fist over her head. With a hard punch to the side of her head he sent her flying off. "Now you're going to pay," the boy said, standing to his feet. "Prepare to die," he said, pointing his palms at Sakura. Suddenly Shikamaru, Choji and Ino dashed in front of her. "Huh, what is this, the second string?" the boy asked. Ino," Sakura said with wide eyes. "Surprised? I swore I wasn't going to let you show me up, didn't I?" Ino said with a grin, causing Sakura to gasp. Time skip. "Wow, it looks like the whole village is going to show up here at this rate," Naruto thought, and noticed Sasuke getting up as purple chakra engulfed him and a strange marking appeared on the left side of his body, causing everyone to look over at him in fear. This must be that curse mark that the Akatsuki warned me about," Naruto thought. "Sakura, who did this to you?" Sasuke asked. "Who was it?" he asked again. "Sasuke, what's happened to you?" Sakura asked as she looked up at him in fear. Sasuke slightly lifted his left hand and looked at it. "Don't worry," he said, dropping his arm back to his side. "I'm alright, it's only the power flowing through me," he said, clenching his fist. "In fact, I've never felt better. He gave me this gift and he made me understand what I am. I'm an Avenger. To follow my path I must have power at any price, even if it means being consumed by evil," he finished. Everyone in the area simply continued to look at him in shock. "Sakura, tell me which one of these people did this to you?" Sasuke asked again. "That would be me," Zaku said with a grin, and Sasuke looked over to the boy. "Ino, get back in your body, you don't want to get involved in this. You get over here too, Choji," Shikamaru said from behind a bush. The marks on Sasuke's face began to give off a red glow as they stared, spreading over the rest of his face, causing Dosu to take a couple steps back. "Dosu, what's wrong? You're not getting cold feet, are ya?" Zaku asked with a grin. "No, Zaku, you don't understand," Dosu said, trying to get him to stop. "Watch this, I'll take care of them all in fell swoop," Zaku said, launching a large gust of wind towards Sasuke and the others. Once he finished he stood heaving. "What do you know, I blew them all away," he said with a grin. "Not quite," Sasuke said, smashing his fist into Zaku's back, sending him to Dosu's feet. "Zaku," Dosu said worriedly. He looked over to Sasuke to see both his teammates behind him. Such speed, he got both of his teammates out of harm's way in the blink of an eye, Dosu said to himself. Suddenly Sasuke began flipping through hand signs. "Fire style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu," he said, launching 5 small fireballs at Dosu and Zaku. "I don't think so," Zaku said, blasting wind from the palms of his hands at the fire jutsu to extinguish the fire, only to reveal shuriken. Zaku quickly tried to block the shuriken with his arms, but Sasuke soon appeared behind him with his right foot on his back and both his arms being pulled backwards. Sasuke grinned. "You seem to be very proud of these arms of yours," Sasuke said, giving the arms a hard tug, earning a crack sound from his shoulders. "You must be very attached to them," Sasuke said, giving his arms another tug, earning the same sound from his shoulders again. Zaku tuned his head to look at Sasuke with wide eyes. "No. What are you doing?" he asked with worry and pain in his voice. Sasuke said nothing in return and simply gave the boy's arms one last tug, earning a loud cracking sound and a scream of pain. Sakura gasped at what she just seen. He, this is too good, someone give me a bag of popcorn and a soda," Naruto thought with a twisted grin. "It looks like you're the only one left," Sasuke said with a grin as he looked over to Dosu, earning a shiver of fear in return. I hope you make thing more interesting than your friend did, he said, tuning completely around to face the masked sound ninja. Sakura could only watch as Sasuke began walking towards Dosu. Suddenly Sakura built up her courage, and oh. Don't do it, Sakura yelled as she ran up to Sasuke and wrapped her arms around him. Damn it, I was enjoying that, you stupid banshee, Naruto thought, gritting his teeth in anger. Sakura whispered into Sasuke's ear, causing the marks to slowly fade, and fell to his knees. You're strong, Sasuke, Dosu said, pulling out his earth scroll. Too strong, we can't hope to defeat you the way you are now, he said, and placed the scroll on the ground. We'll strike a deal. I give you the scroll and you let us go, Dosu said, walking away from the scroll to pick up Zaku. It would seem we underestimated you, but at least we found out what we needed to know, he said, bending down to pick up Kin with his other arm. For the moment we're even, but if we ever so happen to cross paths again in combat, I promise you we won't run or hide. He finished and began leaving the area. Sakura looked from Sasuke over to Dosu. Wait. She yelled, causing him to stop and turn his head to her. Who is this Orochimaru anyway? What's he done to Sasuke, and why Sasuke? She asked. I don't know, all I know is we were told to target Sasuke and we did, Dosu said, and tuned his to face in front of him. I don't know why he sent us to assassinate someone he bestowed so much powers, Dosu said, and began walking away again. Shikamaru walked up to Naruto with a stick in hand. I wonder what he is hiding behind that collar of his, he said as he began to move the collar down with the stick. Any further and I will shove that so far up your ass you will have splinters on your tongue for a month, Naruto said as he opened his eyes. Shikamaru shivered from the threat and quickly backed away as Naruto stood to his feet. I will all of you be. This looks like a Leaf Genin get together. I don't think I would fit in, Naruto said, spinning on one heel, and began leaving the area. Okay, I guess, Shikamaru said as he watched Naruto disappear from sight. Naruto leaned against a tree, went through a couple hand signs. So why did you leave the group? I know there is another reason, the fox said. I want to see if the seal I placed on Hinata is still working. Orochimaru messed with my chakra, he responded as he closed his eyes to focus on the jutsu. With Team 8, a ghostly figure of Naruto slowly began to appear in the corner of the room. He could see the group gathered around a shaking Akamaru. Hey Akamaru, you okay? Kiba asked, petting the top of the dog's head. Is he still shaking? He's been at it for half a day already, Shino said. I don't blame him, not after what happened, it's because of what he's seen, Kiba said, continuing to pet Akamaru. I'm not doing the flashback, everything happened the same way as the original story. Out of the corner of her eye, Hinata noticed Naruto standing in a corner off to her left, and he simply gave her a smile as he began to disappear again. It looks to me like you have gotten stronger since my passing, he said as he completely faded away. And Naruto, Hinata said as a tear escaped from her right eye. Something wrong, Hinata? Kiba asked, noticing Hinata's sudden action. And no, I'm fine, I just had a moment for a second there, Hinata said, using her left arm to wipe away her tear. Kiba and Shino both raised an eyebrow. Odd, the two thought. Later with Naruto and the others. Naruto stood on top of a cliff with his arms crossed, looking down at Sasuke as he looked back up at him in anger as he stood in front of a small creek. Just jump into the damn water, Sasuke said with anger in his voice as he pointed at the water. But I don't know how to swim, Naruto lied as he raised his hands in a shrugging motion. I am about 5 seconds away from turning you into a walking torch if you don't get in the fucking water, Sasuke said as he cliched his fist. But what if I get wet, Naruto said with a girlish voice as he hugged himself and slightly rocked his body side to side. Sasuke bared his teeth and began to flip those hand signs, preparing to launch a fire jutsu at Naruto, who is now shaking his ass towards him. Gur, Sasuke narrowed his eyes as he inhaled. Hey Sasuke! Sakura yelled, scaring Sasuke, causing the fire to blast out his mouth, sending him fly backwards from what seemed like recoil into the water. That has to be the funniest thing I've seen thus far, Naruto said, falling to the floor laughing. TCH, asshole, Sasuke muttered in annoyance as he pulled himself out of the water. What do you need, Sakura? Sasuke asked, giving Naruto the bird as he left. That was too good, Naruto said, wiping a couple of tears from his eyes. Now let's catch some fish, Naruto said with a grin as he pulled out a handful of kunai. With Sasuke began lighting the campfire with a small fire jutsu as Sakura looked at him in wonder. Why are you soaking wet, Sasuke? Sakura asked, sitting down next to the lit fire. Because Menma is an asshole, Sasuke said, sitting down next to the fire on the other side from Sakura. Looks like someone must not be hungry. Oh well, guess I will just have to eat your share, Naruto said, holding up a long wire with a total of 9 fish attached to it. He got that many and doesn't have a single drop of water on him. Damn show off, Sasuke thought. Wow, nice job, Menma. Sakura said, causing Sasuke to roll his eyes. He is such an attention whore, Sasuke thought. Yep, and I didn't even have to get in the water, imagine that. Naruto finished looking over at Sasuke. Go fuck yourself, Sasuke said, crossing his arm and looked away. Did I ruin someone's pride? Naruto asked with a pouting tone, his voice. Cram it, he responded. All Naruto did was grin as he appeared in front of Sasuke and slapped him in the face with 3 of the fish. Here's your share, crybaby, Naruto finished with a laugh. Asshole, Sasuke said with a huff. Later. Alright, so we need a scroll. If we hang out near the tower, I'm sure we could find someone with the heaven scroll, Naruto said as he laid down on his back with his eyes closed. That's not a bad idea, said a voice. What did I tell you about coming near me, snake fodder? Naruto said plainly. I understand that, but I think you need my help more than you need me to go away, the man now seen as Kabuto said, appearing next to Naruto. Fine, but I would try to keep my trap shut if I were you, Naruto said as Sasuke ran up to the group getting ready for a fight. Later that night, the group of 4 stood on the ground looking up at the tower from a distance. There's the tower, now comes the hard part, Kabuto said. Suddenly Naruto pulled out a kunai and threw it through a bush, causing everyone else to turn to see what he threw it at, only to see a massive centipede. What the hell, Menma? Sasuke said with anger. It's dinner. Naruto said with a laugh. You should be careful. If you make too much noise you could attract a lot of attention, Kabuto said as he looked around for any who is near or watching. Not seeing anything, the group began to move quietly towards the tower. After a while walking, Naruto noticed what seemed like wire under a line of leaves and grinned. Following the wire with his eyes, he noticed that it trailed up a tree in front of him, and his grin, oops, Naruto said sarcastically as he used his foot to activate the trap, then took 2 steps back as 11 kunai shot out from the tree and struck into the ground, missing his feet by an inch. You asshole, you did that on purpose, Sasuke said, turning around. Why yes I did, Naruto said, placing his hands on his hips. It looks like we aren't the first ones to be here either, Kabuto said, pointing up at a tree with a group of dead genin lying on the branches. They look like they're having so much fun up there, Naruto said as he began walking towards the tower again with the rest of the group in tow. Is it just me, or is the tower not getting any closer? Sakura asked as she fell to her knees from fatigue. That's because it isn't. Ring a bell? Kabuto said, pointing to his right, causing everyone to look over and see a massive dead centipede with a kunai in its head. This whole time we have been so focused on reaching the tower that we haven't even noticed that we have been walking in a circle the entire time, Kabuto explained, adjusting his glasses. It's a genjutsu, Sasuke said, clenching his fist. Then that means we have already been noticed, Kabuto said. But why would they put us in a genjutsu? Sakura asked. So that it is easier to take down some like you because you're weak, Naruto said with a sigh. What did you say? Sakura asked with anger written all over her voice. No, he has a point, Sakura. You were the first to collapse from fatigue, Kabuto admitted. Maybe if you spent less time up Sasuke's ass and more time training it would be different. Hell, from what can see you are so far up his ass you could tell him what he had for breakfast. Naruto finished as he turned away. You little prick. Sakura yelled, charging over to Naruto ready to smash her fist down on the top of his head. Stop! Kabuto said, causing Sakura to stop dead in her tracks and earning a grin from the blonde. Now is not the time to be turning on each other, the enemy could strike at any minute. He finished as he noticed movement on his right from the corner of his eye. Naruto noticed them too and prepared himself for a jutsu, only to realize he has nowhere near enough chakra. Damned chakra seal. Naruto thought and got into a fighting stance along with the others as clones wearing black clothing appeared from all around them. 40 against 4, I like those odds, this is going to be so fun. He said with a psychotic tone to his voice, earning a hidden grin from Kabuto. This is my chance to see what this Akatsuki member has up his sleeve, Kabuto thought as he lowered his head a bit, causing the lenses of his glasses to shine from the moonlight. What are they? Sakura asked. Clones from the look of it, and a whole lot of them, Kabuto said over his right shoulder. One of the clones began to laugh. They're like cornered rats, the clone said. We'll see about that, Naruto said, dashing over to the clone and smashed his fist into its side only for it to break off like thick water, leaving a chunk missing into side of the body. It must be some type of water clone, Naruto thought as he grew a crazed grin. My chakra must be starting to affect his mind due to this chakra seal he has. It takes away his chakra and my chakra acts as a replacement. It must be leaking slightly. The Nine Tails thought, finally noticing Naruto turning into some kind of a psychopath. What the hell is going on here? Sasuke asked himself as he activated his Sharingan. Suddenly the clone grew a second upper body on its back and threw a double-sided kunai at Naruto, but he moved to the side and the clone's second half threw another double-sided kunai at Sasuke. He tried to move his body to avoid the kunai, but a pain shot through his body from the seal on his neck, causing his movement to be ceased. Kabuto acted quickly by tackling him to the floor, causing the kunai to cut his left arm's bicep, then quickly got off and grabbed the kunai that was thrown. What's going on? I can't move my body, Sasuke thought, trying to move his body but unearned twitches in response and the seal on his neck began to glow. Are you alright? Sakura asked, helping Sasuke to a sitting position. Kabuto pulled the double-bladed kunai out of the ground with his left hand as he used his right hand to cover the cut. It's obvious this thing's real enough, no illusion here, Kabuto thought as he took a good look at the kunai in his hand. Surrender your scroll, surrender the scroll to us, surrender the scroll. Surrender your scroll, many of the clones began saying as they slowly approached the group. I'm going to love this, oh yes I am, Naruto quietly whispered to himself with a crazed grin that is hidden behind the collar of his cloak. Sasuke noticed that Naruto is getting ready to attack again and tried to get up to stop him, but it failed, so he called to him instead. It's no use, save it, he said, causing Naruto to look over at him. You'll only be fighting illusions, it's genjutsu alright, he said, looking Naruto in the eyes. Illusions, but how? That gash on Kabuto's arm is real enough, Sakura said, looking down at Sasuke. That's true, but still Sasuke is right, it could be the real one is in hiding somewhere in the woods nearby, launching the real attacks from behind the illusions and coordinating the movements with them so that we're fooled into thinking these illusions are real and attacking us, Kabuto explained. That's quite the explanation and all, but what are we going to do? Naruto asked. We need to hold our ground and fend off their attacks until we can figure out a different plan, Kabuto answered as he blocked a kunai that was thrown in his direction. That's fine by me, Naruto said as tried to think of an idea to find one responsible for the attacks. Then he got an idea. The clones began pulling out kunai and Naruto grinned. The clones prepared to throw the kunai and at the last second Naruto tacked one of them to the ground, causing the kunai that was thrown from behind the clone to graze his ear, but he still noticed where the kunai came from. There you are, you little cowards, Naruto thought as he noticed a boy wearing yellow clothing hidden way in a tree a small distance away. Naruto quickly jumped up in a tree and summoned a clone to take his place fighting the large group of clones while he went after the hiding rain ninja. The clone dropped down to the ground to join the fight and the real Naruto went in a big circle to approach the real enemy from behind. Meanwhile, the fact that Naruto replaced himself with the clone went completely unnoticed, which gave him the advantage as he quietly landed behind the three rain ninja. Due to the fact that two of them are behind the one in front, Naruto dashed forward and smashed the two from behind's heads together, knocked them out from the force. Then he smashed his fist down on the back of the last one's neck, knocking him unconscious. It's not nice to hide from your enemies, Naruto said as he tied the three together, then digged through their pockets and pulled out a white scroll. This is just what I needed, he said, and began dragging the three to his group. What's going on? Sasuke asked, noticing the army of clones began to seemingly melt into the ground. Because the one who is controlling them is no longer able to keep the jutsu up, the real Naruto said, causing everyone to notice him walking towards them from behind. Wait, but you're over, Sasuke said, looking over to see the other Naruto suddenly disappear in a cloud of smoke. When I tackled the clone seconds before the kunai was thrown, I noticed where it came from, so I replaced myself with a clone and went over to the location, Naruto said, and suddenly fell to the floor as he felt his chakra deplete to a dangerously low level, causing the group to rush over to his side. I can't move, Naruto thought. It looks like you used up all your chakra summoning just that one clone, but you beat them, so good job, Kabuto said with a clap of his hands. Menma is stronger than I thought. But why didn't Sasuke come up with that idea first? Sakura asked herself as she looked down at Naruto's motionless body. Well, now that we have the scroll we need, we should get to the tower, Sasuke said, standing to his feet. I'll carry Menma. I don't think he will be moving anytime soon, Kabuto said, putting Naruto on his back. Don't get any big ideas, snake fodder, Naruto whispered into his ear. Alright, let's go, Sasuke said. The group left, leaving the rain ninja unconscious and still tied together on the forest floor. Later in the tower, a large cloud of smoke could be seen coming from the two open scrolls. As the smoke cleared, a man with a long scar over his nose appeared with his arms crossed. Irika-sensei. Naruto thought with wide eyes. Deep down, Naruto felt happy to see his old academy teacher again, because he was one of the few people in the village that actually cared about and that listened to him, so in a way he has never been happier to see him. Hey, the man now known as Irika said, there isn't much I want to say, but if Naruto was here I know he would be proud of you, he said. Well, guess what, he's not, Naruto thought and crossed his arms as he rolled his eyes. And as for you, I am surprised you made it this far with that small amount of chakra you have. I'm sure that because you made it this far, you can. A calculator couldn't even calculate the amount of fucks that I don't give about you. Speech to give us confidence, Naruto said, interrupting his old teacher. Alright, well, I guess you all passed the second part of the exam. As a reward I would like to treat you all to meal at Ichiraku, he said, getting Naruto's attention, but he quickly hid his excitement and acted as if he didn't hear anything. Later, a large group of genin stood inside of a big room with their senseis, proctors, and the third Hokage standing in front of them. Congratulations, you all made it here, Anko said with a strange device next to her mouth. I'm really hungry, Choji whined as he rubbed his stomach. What a drag, there is so many left, this is such a pain, Shikamaru complained. Sasuke and his team have passed too, Ino said happily as she looked over at the brooding Uchiha. Well, of course they did, Shikamaru said under his breath. After all the trouble we went through to keep them safe, they better had passed, he thought. Remember what happened back in the forest? Your team didn't do too bad, Kakashi, they must have gotten real lucky, Guy said with a smile as he stood next to the masked Jounin. Of course, with my team still around, your team is doomed to failure. After all, what matters on the next test is ability, and we've got you far out classes. Well, I guess a part of growing up is learning that lose to those who are better than you every now and then, Kakashi. He finished with closed eyes. Did you say something? Kakashi asked, looking over to Guy. Guy clenched his fist in anger as he seemed to light on fire. Alright, now pay attention, Lord Hokage is going to explain the third exam to you, so you'd better listen carefully, you maggots, Anko said, then looked over to the third Hokage. They're all yours, she said with a bow of respect, earning a nod from the old man in robes. The third Hokage scanned over the remaining genin and his eyes soon fell on Naruto. I'd noticed that hair anywhere, so does this mean that he has found a good home in the aim? I'm just glad to know he is still alive and didn't die to the hands of the village we was supposed to protect, but why has his chakra gotten so small? He thought with slight smile. Shit, he totally noticed who I am, my cover is so blown, Naruto thought as his heart rate began to speed up, but he quickly calmed himself down. The third Hokage put his hand up to his mouth and cleared his throat and prepared himself to begin his explanation of the third exam, but a Chunin landed on the ground in front of him, stopping him from his explanation. Lord Hokage, before you do, please allow me, Hayate Gecko, appointed as proctor of the third exam, to speak first, the man said, bowing his head with a slight cough. So be it, the Hokage said back, and the man stood to his feet. It's nice to meet you all, Hayate said with a cough and turned around to face the genin. There is something I would like to do before the third exam, he said, and began coughing loudly. We have to have a preliminary exam before we can move on to the real one, he said. Naruto simply closed his eyes as he crossed his arms. When will these damned exams end? Naruto thought with annoyance. A what? Sakura asked. Preliminary, just what do you mean by that? Shikamaru asked. I'm sorry, Sensei, excuse me, but I really don't see the point. What's this preliminary all about? Why can't we all just move on to the third exam? Sakura asked. Well, you see, the first and second exams might have been too easy. The fact is, we never expected so many of you to still be here. According to the rules of the Chunin exams, a preliminary round can be held at any stage in order to reduce the number of candidates still remaining, Hayate explained. But is that fair? Sakura asked. You ask way too many questions, Naruto thought with a sigh as he lowered his head. It's just at this stage we have to speed things up a bit, a lot of important guests will be watching and we can't afford to waste their time. They've come to see only the best, so if there are any of you feel they are not in top physical condition, now's your chance to. Hayate cut himself off by his own coughing. Ahem. Sorry about that, but as I was saying, if there are any of you who don't feel up to this, now is the time to bow. Preliminaries will be starting immediately, he finished. Come on, you mean right now? Kiba asked. We just finished barely surviving the last exam, don't we get a break? Ino complained. Man, what a drag, Shikamaru said, putting his hands in his pockets. Ah, when do we eat? Choji asked, still rubbing his empty stomach. Naruto probably died from all your annoying voices, Naruto said with an extended sigh. Everyone from the Leaf village looked at him in anger besides the Hokage. If you say one more insult about Naruto, I'll rip your head straight off your shoulders, Ino said, pointing her finger at Naruto in anger. Whoa, sorry Princess Ino, Naruto said sarcastically as he raised his hand slightly above his head, earning a glare from the blonde female. Oh, and the winners will be determined by one-on-one combat, Hayate said, earning a grin from Naruto. This is going to be awesome, Naruto thought. So like I said, if there isn't anyone who feels up to it, raise your hand, Hayate said. Later. Alright, then we will now begin the preliminary round. This round consists of one-on-one individual combat at full battle intensity. This is not an exercise. There are 20 of you left, that means there will be 10 matches. The surviving candidates from these 10 rounds will advance to the third exam. As for the rules, there are none. You will fight till one dies or exceeds defeat or is rendered physically incapable of continuing the contest. Naturally, those who are losing are to quit promptly to avoid a fatal outcome. I might intervene if a match seems hopeless to save as many lives as possible. Now it's time to reveal what fate has chosen for you. He finished, looking up at a large electronic board as it began flipping through names, one on top and one below the VS. When it stooped, it had Sasuke's name and Yoroi Akado's. Alright, those whose names have been chosen come forward, Hayate said, and Sasuke began walking up along with a man with a mask wearing the same exact clothes as Kabuto. Kabuto did leave, but Naruto didn't care. Suddenly paper began to swarming to a female figure next to Kakashi, and once it finished forming, it revealed Konan. The Hokage looked over his shoulder to the blue-haired beauty. You're late, he said, and took a hit from his pipe. Sorry, I got lost on my way here, Konan responded. Well then, the two of you have been chosen for the first round. Everyone other than the two opposing candidates will now clear the area and move to the upper level, Hayate said. Everyone began to head up to the upper level next to their teammates and senseis. Naruto stood in front of Konan, who currently has her arms gently wrapped around his shoulders, and to his right is his old team. Let the fight begin, Hayate said, bringing his hand down to signify for the fight to start, and quickly jumped back to avoid being hit in the crossfire.